Do 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 do. Hello, welcome to In the Garage. It's the podcast about Weezer.
By some genuine teasers.
Cool claps.
We have to let Tyler ruin the podcast because he's the one who puts in all the work.
So after not putting out the episodes lately, our fans are disappointed.
Our fans.
What a larf. Anyways,
Is that a word?
it's like laugh, but with an R.
It is like that.
It's very
spelled
similar to laugh.
LARF instead
Yeah.
of LAF.
Yeah, it's like you're having a larf.
You having a laugh, mate?
Yeah. I'm
Alright.
Chris. I kind of run things around here. I'm something of I'm like the P.T. Barnum of this little circus we call life.
Of life.
Yeah, not just this podcast. I run your guys' lives. I'm doing a poor job.
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions for you, Chris.
I'm gonna pass it to my best friend James, by which I mean, everyone Google that. By which I
You
mean
won't find it. I tried to find it for hours today.
For hours. We both had ready access
yeah,
to
you
it.
could have asked us.
No, I think I spent about
Why
5
don't we
minutes.
text more,
I don't know.
or at least Snapchat?
We texted
I
decent.
feel like I Snapchat you a lot and you never respond.
What?
I sent you that
not-
Spider-Man trailer.
That's true.
We were talking about that.
Not me and you, me and Chaz.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Chaz is here. Welcome, Chaz.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like your Snapchats can sometimes be like non sequiturs. Like it's like I watch them and I enjoy them,
Yeah.
but it's like it's not
Back when
something
I
that
did
necessarily
have
necessitates a
Snapchat.
response. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of
Well, yeah,
Jazz's
most of my
Snapchats
stuff.
were just kind of one-offs where there's nothing really you can say other than like, oh yeah,
LOL.
Yeah, it's like this is good.
Large.
I
It was a
enjoy
good
it.
joke. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna pass it to my other best friend. Would you say we're best friends?
Don't do this to me.
He's not my best friend, but he's what? He's my good work friend. Because we work on this podcast together. It's Tyler.
You're
Tyler.
with me and I work on the podcast.
I love you and I'm in love with you. Tyler, what's new? You just started working at a fine dining establishment, I believe.
Yeah, but that's not like a big deal because
This podcast isn't supporting your income. It's not
an
enough.
important supplement
You
to
can't do this full
my
time.
income stream. Yeah, I guess like that's shaping up to be a career of
Stream cheese, is that something?
me. Stream cheese.
Yeah, like string cheese and cream cheese. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yo, what if it was like the shell was like a cheese string style string
But you
cheese?
break it open and
You
contain
well, you don't
within.
break it open. You peel it, obviously, and then like the middle.
Oh, that sounds like one of
cream
those
cheese.
cow tails. Have you ever had one of those?
Oh, tell me more.
I don't know if you can get them here in Canada, but I know I used to get them whenever I went over to Michigan. They're like these long tube things, essentially, that are like a chewier thing on the outside that's really good, then a nice creamy
Sounds like exactly what I'm describing.
yeah,
Well,
except
okay,
it's
for
not cheese. It's like
for
a
these
sweet
cheese
thing.
things
Oh.
is like you get like the log basically like for the cheese sticks as they exist.
got
Yeah, like a cheese string.
You
You
peel
mean
it
poop?
off and each piece is exactly the same as the others. Are you peeling off and revealing that the center log is filled with cream cheese?
Yeah, it's as if you made a cheese string that was just hollow on the inside,
Okay.
and you filled it with cream cheese or
Now,
creamy
Chris,
cheese.
look at this shit.
Oh, that looks pretty good. Is that like kind of like coconutty? inside?
No,
But
no,
it's
no.
cream.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good.
If I ate dairy, I
Humble
would
brag.
eat these all the time.
Okay, looked like you were reading that from a script. Wait,
The
is this
teleprompter's
branded
laggy.
content for Cowtails? Did you cut a marketing deal without telling us? Do we finally have an advertiser?
Chris, this episode, I've
Oh,
got to tell you,
right.
is brought to you by. Take it away, Chaz.
Epic Tales.
Cowtails?
Yes.
Epic
They're
Tales.
tasty.
Whew, so this is a podcast.
I just got that. Epic fails. Good one.
This is In the Garage, 100% Weezer Talk exclusive only.
Yeah, we only do Weezer.
Oh shit! There's a picture on Google Images of a kid doing a review.
That's
just
a really good picture.
Imagine what.
What every YouTube food review looks
Yeah.
like, where they hold it up to the camera.
It's like some chubby 12-year-old.
Yeah.
But the focus like struggles to hit the food, so going like
Yeah,
and
they
this is
put
like
their
a
like
very
hand
focused face, like a
behind
blurry
it.
hand. So this is a podcast about Weezer. We said this one was going to be short, and so far, so good.
we are rocketing along.
We are like a speeding freight train, like Liam Neeson in The Commuter, my favorite movie. You familiar with that one?
We're like that Hyperloop that Elon's gonna have any day
Cube
now.
2 Hypercube?
From Artemis Fowl.
No, that's... What is that called?
What is that called?
Wait a minute, what is that called? I mean, it's from the Eternity Code, as we all know. Man,
I don't read books.
they really missed the boat making an Artemis Fowl movie.
I feel like that's still on the way.
I think it is. But you know who should have played Butler? The Rock.
I was thinking, well, are you gonna stick with them all being Irish?
Oh, yeah.
Because if that's gonna be a thing, then you have to.
Then maybe not The Rock.
Probably not The Rock.
Maybe Saoirse Ronan. Oh, Saoirse Ronan should play Holly.
What about
And Finn
Tom
Wolfhard.
Green? Wait,
Artemis.
The Sea Cube.
not Tom Green. Who am I thinking?
Tom Green? You want Tom Green to be in it? He can play Mulch Diggums.
No, who's that?
These jokes are very
These are
funny.
so-
Seth
Specific.
Green. Here we go.
You want Seth Green to play whom?
I don't know. I've
You
never read the book.
just want a movie with
be in there.
Seth Green in it?
It's about time for a Seth Green comeback.
Do you think that because you look like Seth Green?
Do I look like Seth Green?
I forget what
Kinda.
Seth Green looks like.
Our last names are similar. Our hair color is similar.
Even better.
Red and green.
Hey, red and green, that's good. So,
They
these
do
are
not
pod-
look similar.
No, but their hair.
Get
They
the
have
hell.
hair. They both have hair. This is a podcast about Weezer, the band, and we have made it. Guys, we're at the finish line. Not the finish line of the podcast,
No,
because,
no.
like, I mean,
no.
we've barely gotten started. We're transitioning directly into an Artemis Fowl podcast after this, where
It's
we
gonna
do
be called.
the Eternity Pod.
Ha ha ha.
So,
I
Weezer.
did.
Ever heard of him? Ever liked him?
No.
Okay, well, I have a good news for you. We're at the final Weezer studio album. It is their, 11th?
39th album.
We'll go with 11th.
It's 11th.
I mean, let's save it for when we do our wrap-up episode and we talk about our album rankings, which is definitely going to come. It's going to be great. It's going to be like 4 hours long. No fat to be trimmed here. We're on the Hyperloop, as we say.
We're on the BRT.
Guys, first
Some
we make,
municipal
we
jokes.
talk for like 3 minutes about Artemis Fowl, and then you make a specific joke about municipal transit. That's good content. The only people who listen to this will be delighted. We last left off. We haven't recorded in a while, for some reason. Not sure why, but we're back at it once again. And where we last left off, hey, we were in great shape.
We were in fine. We and Weezer were in fine form.
Fine fettle. Is that a term?
Nope.
Fetal form?
What's that steam?
We're in the fetal
Is
position.
that supposed to be coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my tea.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Okay. So, where we last left off, Chaz, we had Hurley.
Great.
So good. We've had Everything Will Be Alright in the End.
Incredible.
So great. No one can hear you.
I can
We-
film just fine.
Have had the White Album.
Don't do that.
Cool Whip. A
Whiskey.
classic freaking sweet joke. White Album, good stuff. Would you agree, Chaz?
Yeah, I'd say so.
We had a good time
By
talking about
and
the White
large,
Album.
yeah.
White Album's done. Hasn't even been released yet. And Rivers, he goes on record in some kind of publication. Could have been a radio interview. I don't remember. And I don't think I ever knew. He said, next album is going to be the Black Album. What do you think of when you think of the Black Album, Chaz?
Oh,
Metallica?
obviously. A lot more Pinkerton-y tones.
And Metallica as well.
Jay-Z.
And Jay-Z also, yes. Of course. Much
Jay-Z,
better.
sir.
Far superior Black Album. So, you're absolutely right. He basically said, compared to the more beachy environments of the White Album, they've got the wind in their sails.
California kids.
It was going to be more of an urban sound, which I assume to mean rap. I assume Rivers was being dog whistle racist. more, just like a darker sound. He said, maybe we'll throw some synths in there. Maybe we'll throw some samples in there. It's going to be crazy. He also says, that guy Jake Sinclair made a good album with him. Throw him out the window. Because, if you'll remember from last episode, it was like, Rivers was the experimental side, and then Jake Sinclair was sort of tempering him,
weirdo,
pulling him back towards center. And it was a happy little combination. And Rivers said,
"Spoon-flowing pop."
Spoon-flowing pop? What?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, good. Yeah, so they were sort of having happy center there, and Rivers was like, I don't want a happy center. I want to go way to one extreme, and that's what's going to be a good album. So basically he said, get out of here, Jake. And they started working on the Black Album. But, as you know, still no Black Album to be seen. May never be seen. When they were working on what they thought was the Black Album, they had a separate folder on Dropbox. The folder was called Beach. So it was for all the things that didn't fit with the Black Album sound they were going for. But as they were working away on this Black Album, the Beach folder starts filling up. And soon, Weezer...
It's the Beach folder.
Oh, that was good. I liked it.
That one could have gone either way, really.
No, it was always going to be good. So, they're like, we've got an album here.
Hey, hold the phone.
Hey.
Who's that? Is that Pat? we immediately knew it was Pat. Good to see his Elvis collection. Jay Leno.
Isn't that video crazy?
It is so
It's
crazy.
knocking some random door.
So I guess they just, decided to make this other album. They bring in... Do you know who they bring in?
Rick Rubin?
Close, but
Rick
no.
Ocasek.
I don't know why I said close. That may have misled you. They bring in Butch Walker. I'm seeing a blank stare.
Not familiar.
So he had previously produced some content on a little album we love to call Ratitude.
Do we love to call it Ratitude?
Yeah,
I think we have to.
I think it deserves to be called Ratitude.
That's fair.
Best one of the pod.
So he worked on such classic songs as The Girl Got Hot, Let It All Hang Out, and then, if you're wondering, and Put Me Back Together. So he had like a 50% success rate, which in the broader context of that album is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like imagine if half the songs on Ratitude had been good. It would have been an okay album. So they bring in Butch. They're, having some poppy fun. I didn't know this, but I found out after the fact that this was the same as for White Album. They weren't together in the studio very much at all. So they would
They did or didn't?
they were not
Okay.
together. So they would it would be like Rivers would write a song, and then they would go in, and one of them would go in, do a part, and then Rivers would come back and listen to it and be like, yeah, good. And so that was just the way they did it, which does not sound
It's not very fun at all.
doesn't sound necessarily like the best way to make an album, but hey, worked out with White, let's do it again, baby.
It's definitely weird with bands like that with strong frontmen who have a personality.
Auteurs.
Sure.
People with a vision.
From what I've heard about the Strokes, when they started making albums that weren't their first two, they had a lot of trouble because Julian kept wanting to switch it up and make the other members of the band, have more input, so he kept removing himself from that process, and they were kind of hurting because you need someone in the room to be like, oh yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard the same for Arctic Monkeys.
It's really a reverse Rivers.
And it reminds me of Arctic Monkeys because, from what I've heard, Alex will sit alone in a room and cook up all the songs. And then basically have each of the people come over one at a time and work out their parts, and then they all jam it out together in the room. But that's kind of the last stage.
Yeah. Agreed. So they do that. They get Butch in there. They lay it down. Come March 2017. When does White Album come out?
I don't know.
Oh, no!
It was supposed to come out April 1st, 2016 or
That is
something.
when it came out.
Yeah.
That's exactly when it came
Oh,
out.
I knew I thought
was
they
supposed to
delayed it
end.
or
It was
something.
on time.
I can't even remember. That was too long ago.
Let's see here. Release and promotion.
You know what's weird about that whole...
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Everything Will Be Alright in the end. They pushed it back like a week from like October 1st to October 8th or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
That sounds right.
It's weird, Tyler.
You know what's weird about this whole White Album, then Black Album, and then they start filling up this beach folder? I think that's the first time, it seems like the first time, where they announce the color of the album as like a central part of the theme. It feels like with the they did 4, right? Blue, green, red, white. Yeah. It seems like those 4 seem very organic, like they made the album, and at the end they were like, I guess we'll call it Weezer and give it a big blocky color. And
Yeah.
but it seems, he's going, oh, it's black and white was super happy, so white is going to be super dark. And it's
he's putting the cart before the horse, so to speak.
which feels very odd to me, especially now that they kind of derailed that.
Good expression. Do you not?
Oh, I thought you said
Horses
putting the
usually-
horse before the cart. I'm just like, that's the way it's
makes
supposed to go, you
That's how
idiot.
you drive a
Perfect
cart.
The horse pulls the cart.
Sorry, go on.
So it's weird for them to come up with the White Album.
Yeah.
And then have this album which they state is like, these are just in between Lucy's, like, have at it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't feel like the way a band like Weezer operates.
Yeah.
And then the whole point was, basically, here, hang on to this while we finish up the Black Album. 2018 is mostly come and gone. They went on a summer tour.
They claimed that something was coming out.
Early in the year, they were saying, oh, Black Album is out. And it is now radio silence.
Yeah. And I think we've been hearing things that's like, it's gone. It's not coming out.
Have we?
Chaz?
I don't know.
Anything
I've been
about
kept up with Weezer for a little bit. I've been trying to just stay in silence while this whole Africa thing blows over.
yeah.
We'll get to that.
We
for
will
sure.
get to that.
Where have you been hearing that the Black Album is full on canceled?
I don't know where I heard that. I feel like it was just kind of like, maybe it was just sort of an assumption people made because it was like,
Yeah.
what did he say, July 1st?
He said like May 25th or something.
I think they're doing a whole 3-year plan where they cover every one of Toto's albums and go on a world tour with them that lasts for the rest of their careers.
I wish people could see the
Just
look,
3
the lack
years.
of life in Chaz's eyes right now.
The blank, dead-eyed stare. They should have done Hold the Line, though, right?
They should have done none, but yeah, if they were going to do any, hold the line.
Sure. So, where were we?
Why did they make this album?
Black Album?
Oh yeah, Black Album. Yeah, I think that was just sort of assumption because it seemed like they implied that something was going to come out, and then it was just like, no.
And it also felt weird because it felt like we were just ramping up into this new era of Weezer just like going crazy with the new good music.
Yeah, we're popping off.
Oh, like an album every 2 years from Everything to White? That's pretty good for a band. And they come out with another album right the year after. And you're like,
They released 3 albums in 3 years, right? Wait, no. Everything Will Be Alright is 2014.
14.
Okay, so 3 albums in 4 years.
It's pretty good.
It's very good, I'd say.
So then this comes out, and the initial press when this album comes out is, oh, Black Album's right on the way. It's like, these guys are getting so productive.
Yeah, he said that was going to happen before White had even come out.
Which is crazy. And now he just has not spoken on those plans, but it's especially frustrating that he hasn't spoken on those plans when he's so active on the internet.
Yeah.
And reposting all these memes and doing all these things, and it's like, hey, like, aren't you a musician who does music
I
for
think
money?
he's just trying to get his like fame back or whatever.
Oh, interesting take. Go on.
Is that an interesting take? I mean, like,
It's an easy way to...
they just kind of like got like kind of skyrocketed into like the mainstream again with this whole like Africa cover thing.
It's like their second biggest single ever.
Yeah, and like all these people are like, "Oh, this is so good," but like it's good as a meme, right?
Yeah.
Like no one actually cares about it aside from it being a meme.
Yeah, and
Like if you look at the prices that the like 7-inch singles of it are going for, now they're not going as much now, but when they first came out and I was lucky enough to get 2 on like within like an hour of them or whatever starting to sell them. But like they're selling for like well over $100 like the day that they came out because they just instantly sold out.
Yeah.
And it was like, who gives a shit? Like it's a cover of an old song that like people almost like as a joke. I mean, it's a good song, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No, I
like,
definitely know what you mean.
It's not even like they do anything interesting with it. It's like, oh, let's just literally play Africa the way it was meant to be played.
We'll get to Africa.
Yeah.
Save it for the pod.
Yeah, just fuck.
Because these are discontentments that have come up in 2018. I think specifically as the summer has come and gone, and they were like, Black Album's on the way, on the way, on the way. See you on this tour.
Yeah.
And then the whole Africa thing came, and it's like, hey, like these kind of few things in a row, any one of them would be fine, but the fact that they all happened, and at the same time you're not talking about whatever your next album is going to be.
And also, you could have said nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just put out 2 albums in 2 years.
No one
You could have said no one.
expects,
Yeah,
like-
exactly. No one would have been surprised if you didn't put out an album in for a 3rd year in a row. No one would have cared.
Even Weezer fans, it would have been like, hey, you know what? You have earned yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. They had they had so much goodwill. Maybe not with this album, but I like this album. Spoilers.
Let's say going into 2017.
Yes, they
Weezer
had-
was riding a like
Yeah.
Riding
brand
the wave,
new
baby.
high of refound
critical
hip-hop.
and commercial and fan. They were triple quadranting.
They were
dude.
having their cake and
I don't
eating
know
it
if you
too.
guys remember when Everything Will Be Alright in the end came out. People were like freaking out. It was like, thank you so much, Rivers, for putting out like an incredible album like this. People were going crazy. And then when White came out, people were acting like, oh, like Everything Will Be Alright in the end. Like that's a piece of shit compared to this
Yeah.
one. Like, I mean, not me personally, but other
Not me
people
personally
were.
either.
But they were topping themselves.
Yeah,
and
people love. Yeah, it was definitely like they were in the same stratosphere for sure, and they were also like getting the commercial success as well.
Yeah,
so
everyone was
exactly.
going like, holy shit, is this band picking up like the biggest second wind ever?
Third
Like,
wind. Like,
wow, Octone Baby, you too. Also, I just saw Stars Born. spoilers for my future movie talk. I couldn't help it.
Looking back now, you're like, oh, I want to talk about this movie.
I just saw Stars Born. Bradley Cooper in that movie. Actually, I don't want to ruin the movie for you if you're going to see it, but
thanks.
it's not in a spoiler way. But Bradley Cooper singing in that movie sounds like American Bono, and the very first song in the movie sounds like a U2 song, so it really messes you up. Anyways, U2, good band.
Yeah.
I wish there was a podcast talking about them.
Yeah.
Where are we?
We were talking about Weezer, I believe. Let's jump into the album. We've given enough context here.
When does this album come out?
October 27th, 2017.
All right.
Nice. Is that a
it's-
fact?
I don't know. It could be.
Did you make that up? October 27th, 1841. It did come out on October 27th, 2017.
Just kill me.
Okay.
Do they have a lead single beforehand?
Yes. So in
5.
in
5
Mar-
singles?
What? Are you sure?
The entire first half of the album
Really?
was
I know
released.
Happy Hour got 18 remixes after the
Oh,
fact.
shit.
So in March, technically this album only has 2 singles. So everything else was kind of like, I think they did the same thing with White Album, right? Where
Yeah,
only some
yeah.
of them were quote unquote singles.
Yeah, but
So in March, they released Feels Like Summer. For the longest time, people thought that was like a one-off,
yeah.
or just like
People
so-
hoped it was a one-off, like we are with California Snow.
We'll talk about California Snow.
We have so much to talk about.
So that was
record short ep.
So that was like a Lucy single, and then in August they put out Mexican Fender with the video, but that was not a single allegedly. Then in September they did Beach Boys, and then Happy Hour was quote unquote the second single right after the album comes out, and then there are no more singles.
No, Weekend Woman came out before the album came out.
But that would have been just a release song, right? Not a
Yeah,
single.
and there's like a video with it
Really?
too.
It
Yeah.
doesn't say that here, but
Well, I remember sitting in the library at school being like, "Oh shit,
okay.
new Weezer video." I was pleased with that one, but we'll save it for the later in the pod.
We'll save it for the pod. We're gonna keep saving it for the pod until it's just a silence.
We have merch on our site, by the way. Shirts that say "Save it for the pod."
We were just talking about that. So if you want those shirts, just email us. Weezer at weezmail.com. And we'll send you some t-shirts. That's a promise. If you email Weezer at weezmail.com, we will send you t-shirts.
Send you a t-shirt post haste.
So, there are 10 songs on this album, I assume.
Yeah.
You've got Mexican Fender, Beach Boys, Feels Like Summer, Happy Hour, Weekend Woman, QB Blitz, Sweet Mary, Get Right, La Mancha Screwjob, and Any Friend of Diane's. Some good names in there.
Yeah.
Well, let's hop right in with our classic time-tested format.
Got a list.
We've got a list. We've all got a list, and then we've got another list, which is the list of the lists, basically.
We compiled them.
We collated them, and like every list, there's something at the bottom. It's a little tune called "Feels Like Summer."
Who could have ever foreseen this?
Like, feels like bummer. I did not have this at the bottom of my rankings.
I think that's fair to not have it at the bottom of your rankings.
I think this is a pretty good song.
I don't really have any problems with it aside from the fact that it was like, you see, like everything will be all right in the end, then the White Album, and you like the way it's going, and then this
Girl,
song.
we got a good thing.
Weezer, we got a...
Wheeze, we got a good thing.
Yeah, and then this song kind of comes and it's like, it's grown on me a lot, that's for sure.
It really drops with a thud.
Yeah, but I really don't like the direction. I would have preferred to see them go in a different direction.
Yeah, I do think that the reason that this song gets a lot of shit is because it was this first single that sort of just like came out like a turd out of their butt and just plopped on the ground. And they were just like, this isn't a turd, it's a single.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, though,
throw it out there.
I felt the exact same way when Thank God for Girls came out, but thank God that one grew on me.
Sure. Thank God for gruels. Yikes. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good song. To me, like, this is like the mirror side of Jacked Up. Like if Jacked Up is the moon and this is the sun, you know? Because like
what?
Because like the way he sings and like there's kind of like keyboards and
hitting
stuff.
The falsetto. I guess.
Yeah, like even like the chorus, like he kind of like does it the same way.
Yeah. You know what I think when I hear this song?
What?
Is 21 Pilots. Like in my mind, they are gunning for that.
No.
Yeah,
You're right.
I've kind of got some stuff to say about other songs like that on this album too, but
some songs make me think maybe a little bit of Ed Sheeran, like that current cluster of 2017 just chart toppers, and this song makes me think 21 Pilots. Like he sat down and like wrote out all the things that a 21 Pilots song does.
There are two songs on this album that for me are like that, not with 21 Pilots, but
a lot of songs on this album. It's weird because like it's half like a kind of like old school pop rock kind of album, but then on the other side it's like very like
electronic-y.
It's very, and it's like the production is very of the time, like all like the little tricks, like they use a lot of like the like low pass filter that like every pop song uses now, including High Horse by Casey Musgraves, which freaking kills it. But anyways, yeah, it uses a lot of like the 2017 production techniques, which just makes it like you just shake your head. It's like you didn't have to do this. It goes
through every trick in the I've spent 15 minutes learning to make EDM book.
Yeah.
Which I sat there and wrote them out. It does a high pass filter, it does a low pass filter, it does the arpeggiation thing where it kind of like stutters up to the drop, it does the tape style slowdown where it like the whole thing like crushes down to a stop. Like just kind of every cheap like someone messing around in Audacity can make this, and they just do it, and it doesn't contribute to the flow of the song at all. It feels like
summer.
Are you proud of yourself, Chris?
Yeah. Go on.
Feels like they were like they got to the end of every verse and they went, oh, and they they opened up this little like 21 Pilots
got a bag of tricks.
Yeah, and pulled out, I guess we'll take
Yeah.
the drums out and put them back in with the little filter, and like it
It
feels
just-
like it feels like Rivers just hasn't heard this type of music before and wants to make it for himself.
Which, and like that, like I don't think this album is even 20% as bad as Ratitude,
No.
but the two things that are bad about that era are, one, they're trying to do pop music that is very of the time, and so like that, like I'd say this album was DOA, dated on arrival.
Yeah.
And the other thing is stupid meme shit.
Yeah.
And so like they're in the Ratitude pocket right now, and it's troubling. But
You know what the best part about Ratitude was, though?
the dog,
No, they came out with a nice trajectory after it.
I
so-
guess, yeah. It's sort of like it's like a
Sine wave.
No, but it's like more like a staircase, right? It goes up and then it goes down a
It's
bit
like-
and then back up. And as long as
Staircases go down and then back up.
No, it like plateaus, but for this
Oh.
example, they go down a little bit.
it's
stairs
like
do plateau.
It's one of those things where like you're going down to like gain momentum to go back up.
Like a spaceship flying around a black hole.
Sure.
Like the bear
Like
trap or the
Interstellar.
boar trap in finance.
I'm not familiar.
Speak on that.
No, that has nothing to do with anything. Let's
Okay.
just keep going.
So
Oh.
yeah, I mean like
Can't talk about something that has nothing to do with anything now.
that would be terrible. That'd be a bad podcast.
Hee hee hee.
Yeah, I mean, like, the problem with this album is a lot of it sounds the same.
A lot of it sounds the same.
And so there's only so much you can say about individual songs.
So let's talk about the overall mood of this album.
Feels like summer.
I wouldn't even say it feels like summer.
It doesn't
There's a
really feel
lot
like
of-
summer.
Yeah,
There's,
it's
a,
very
there's a number of tracks in it that sound like very wintry.
It feels
Even
somewhat
feels like
overcast,
summer. It
I would
starts with
say.
that like kind of
Yeah.
offbeat piano, and it's there's a lot of reverb with a lot of high end in there, which is like creates this very like harsh reverb noise, which creates this very cavernous overall feeling, which doesn't make me feel like summer at all.
Yeah.
Also, what are these lyrics about? I know he's doing the whole stream of consciousness,
Yeah, his like picking out like
Association.
lines and syllables.
but
Also, and then Childish Gambino made a song called "Feels Like Summer," and it's like,
it's pretty good.
damn, you got beat, man.
Yeah.
You got.
This is sad.
What?
Rivers.
More like rivers of tears coming out of my eyes.
Yeah, I have more to say about this with other songs, but especially after the White Album, where he had songs specifically about being an older / married man, to now return full force to the I'm 18 and I have a crush on you, but I don't know if you like me too. Is so I get that he's doing a character and a bit when he plays that, but it's like, hey, you already did King of the World. You already hit this height of like, oh, new thoughts you have about the world from being an older, more experienced person. I feel like the well of teenage crush, adolescent, the high of those emotions, of these infatuations, I feel like that well is run dry. But you base this whole album on those feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and like, yeah. I mean, this song. It does. Yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't feel like summer.
Which way is the graveyard? I'm an iceberg with a warm heart.
That verse is probably
I'm
the
spiritual,
worst.
not religious. I'm a
Oh,
Libra,
that
if that
line,
matters.
just-
Which I remember prompted you to say, that's a Tinder profile.
Yeah. Like
It's a good caption.
like
for
5'10" if it matters. Like, why does everyone gotta say their height on these things? I could do a tight 5-minute stand-up bit about the shit.
Rivers
people write
is
in
looking
their
for
Tinder
someone who's
profile.
tall enough to hit the top shelf.
Oh, I bet he's looking for the gym to his Pam.
Someone who will buy them sushi and rub their butt? Those are all the Tinder.
Pros. I'm great at being the little spoon. Let's kill ourselves.
No, good idea.
And also, we know Rivers was on Tinder at this point.
Yeah, just to
Find
meet
people-
new people, which is like, all right, like,
That's
What
like
a
the
weirdo.
dumbest thing I've heard.
Just
man.
here to make friends.
Oh, I'm just here to have enlightening conversations with 19-year-old LA girls.
La girls.
Wow, like his wife, just oblivious. It's like
His wife is a patsy.
George McFly at the end of
You think he's
Back to the
like,
Future.
on the sly of like,
yeah.
his wife is hearing it like, wait, what?
What happened? Wait, what happens to George McFly at the end of Back
He
to the
dies.
At the end of Back to the Future one, no, George.
Oh, I'm
Future
talking
one?
about Back to the Future 2.
He doesn't even die in that.
Don't they see his gravestone?
Yeah, he dies.
He dies in part
Isn't
of
she,
Back
like-
to the Future too, but
Yeah,
then
that's
they
what I
go
said,
back.
that's what he said.
Oh, I thought you said Back to the Future.
And they
3
go back
at
to the
end.
past.
Yeah, to save him. But no, like at the end of Back
did
to
die.
the Future 1, it's just like he's standing there. It's like, oh yeah, I think even Family Guy did a bit
When
on
he's like a
this.
hotshot writer?
No,
Do you
no.
mean like back in the present or in the past?
No, like at the very end of Back to the Future 1, and it's just like, oh yeah, we have this son that looks identical to
To Calvin Klein?
yeah.
Okay, now I understand what you're saying. That's good stuff.
What a
That's
moron.
always
like-
fun to think about.
But no one's
Our
seen.
second son looks
But, like-
exactly like...
But I'm sure Calvin Klein was like a missing person.
Yeah.
Like he can't like that'd be an insane leap to make. Like I think it would be more like that's creepy because they already looked like each other, you know?
They look a lot like each other.
Yeah.
It's a good thing no one took a picture of them.
Man, you know what's sad?
Oh, you
about-
mean George and Marty.
Yeah, I mean
okay.
George and Martin. It's like they already like could have been related.
Yeah.
You know what's
So,
kind
yeah.
of sad about that movie that you never think of? When he like takes off from like say the original 1985, like at the beginning of the movie,
The
like
Libyans.
he just becomes a missing person in that like timeline. The timeline keeps going on and his family never sees him again.
It's like
Wow.
the third Zelda timeline.
Yeah. That's like the whole different timeline thing. Like in the movie, he just comes right back to that time.
Yeah, but like
Oh,
he's
it's a
saying like
different-
yeah, but it's a different timeline.
It's a
you know?
different 1985.
So there's like it's like how in
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, there's the timeline where Link went.
Does or doesn't defeat.
Well, there's
I feel
that.
like I've seen a spreadsheet of this.
Yeah.
There's
There's
so
the
there's the
I've never actually
timeline.
played a full Zelda game.
There's the timeline where
Oof.
Ganon wins.
yeah.
There's the timeline where Link goes back to the past and becomes a little kid again. But there's also the timeline where they defeat Ganon and then Link is gone. You know.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was fucking pointless. So let's talk about the next song, which is a little number I like to call Happy Hour, the biggest offender, even more than Feels Like Summer, I would say, of being a of the moment pop song.
yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
And even though I think like Feels Like Summer is kind of universally reviled by people, I think it's okay.
Yeah, I
These
think it's
two
okay,
songs
too.
were not far. Like pretty much everyone had this song in their bottom three.
Which one?
Happy Hour.
Yeah.
Did I? I did.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know. This song, I had to struggle between this one and Feels Like Summer for the bottom.
You start
line.
deciding which songs are just so like bland and inoffensive and by the numbers, and which
Yeah.
songs
'Cause
you
there
start
aren't-
coming through and saying which ingredients actively offend me. I'd say
Yeah.
Feels Like Summer has more, specifically the production that is like going through all these like, first 15 minutes of EDM.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not.
That
it's
is
not,
actively offensive to me. What is actively offensive about Happy Hour to you?
I wouldn't say anything is actively offensive. Again, like I don't think Feels Like Summer is a bad song. I don't think this is a terrible song. It just is so. It could. The problem I have with this song is that it could have been made by any other artist, by any like shitty
Yeah.
like a bad Shawn Mendes.
I don't know. I find this song to be really boring. I don't know what it is about it. The only saving grace I think that it has is the way he sings that line that's like, let's chill out on an island. I've been sucking on a lemon coconut. You know.
Yeah,
that line.
I do know
that line.
Yeah. I
But
don't
again,
know.
it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lyrics. Yeah,
These
the lyrics are
actively
off the
frustrate
rails.
me.
Yeah, these are some really
It's like, he's tying different things together, and like one line doesn't necessarily have to be
He's got
anything
his
to do with the next.
friggin' Excel file
yeah.
out again.
And like,
It's like, listen to this one. It's like, River, what are you talking about? I'm like Stevie Ray Vaughan on the stage, high on music.
like, yeah.
I'm gonna
It's
read
the
the
part
lyrics.
is when you read a lyric.
Teeth grinders, sweating under the lights, but then my boss comes and she's crushing.
Comes.
Stop it.
You said it like that.
I'm going line by
then my
line. I'm
boss
going line by line.
and
But then my
crushes
boss.
him.
Whoa. Freaking tidal wave.
It's,
Go on.
actually, I'm not going to talk.
What? Go on.
Actually, what?
What were you going to say?
Just like boss comes and crushes him. Have you ever seen like one of those gifs, like you click on it and it's like a nice looking gif or something, and then it just instantly switches to something else? It's like some lady with
it's
high
one
heels,
frame.
like
What? Oh my
crushing
God.
someone's balls.
I know of that.
It's like in the same vein as a screamer, but
Yeah.
Except you can't unsee it.
anyway.
Let's
He
hope.
feels like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Ponce de Leon, and the whole point that he's trying to get is that he needs happy hour, which really bugs me because that's just like the time in a restaurant where things are half price.
Yeah.
So like there was a
saying
bit
needs
where
to
he
get,
was
like,
posting
ways-
pictures of like every restaurant that has a happy hour. It's like, this has nothing to do with you. It's like if I made a song called like Traffic Light and I was taking pictures of traffic lights, like, oh.
But like, no, it's like
Because he was taking pictures of restaurants with signs out that said happy hour 2 till 3. And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's like-
what are you doing?
I don't know. It's like this song. Like, why would you pick a song this dumb to like put that much promotion into and like come up with all those remixes?
Like
and
18 remixes.
like
Yeah.
why? It's like when they did that with Hash Pipe and like there's like remixes for that coming out and stuff. Why? Like,
the song is so lacking in substance.
yeah.
Oof.
I mean, I think Hash Pipe's a better song than this one.
You know what? Hashpipe is about something.
Yeah. And I never thought I'd say this about a Weezer song, but this song almost like relies too much on the bass and like has too much bass in
Which
it.
is a classic like 2017 pop thing where like everything is just driven by like funky bass lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found a terrible quote just now.
Oh, I can't
So
wait to hear
another
it.
thing about this album is that he made a rule when he was writing the lyrics to not use the word girl. It's
Yeah.
like, cool, okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Except, so in regards to the line, maybe I'll meet a scientist in sweatpants and a hair tie. He said, it comes to the point in the song where you're about to say it and it's like, oh, I gotta think of something else. In Happy Hour, I say, maybe I'll meet not a pretty girl, but a scientist. Okay, well, that's a little more interesting, he says. But it's like, it's the same as the spreadsheet. It's like you completely missed the point. Like, not having the word girl is like a cool, like, I understand why you would
it's a challenge,
put that.
so you don't rely on it. But there'd be like
Exactly,
times where,
but instead you
why-
just
If you're
wrote-
just ad-libbing a whole song to work your way around not using that word.
is that any
instead
better?
instead you wrote a song with just a blank where you were going to say girl and then put in a random word.
Like, from Hurley, like Smart Girls, it's like, you're just talking about girls.
Yeah, exactly.
You put in that smart to be like, oh, this is something new. And
Yeah, like,
different.
I'm being clever here.
And it's just, like, this ends up being really dumb. Maybe I'll meet a scientist in sweatpants and a hair tie. We'll talk about rare birds and MIDI keyboards. Like, Rivers, but you're a married man.
What are we doing?
You have kids.
I mean, no, I get like still being able to sing about girls and stuff because like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the target audience, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't
I have no
have to
problem with
just
that.
write a song from his own perspective, but I don't
Well, you know
know.
what? That's something I forgot to mention about Feels Like Summer, and I think ties in here.
Is that it's not the
Is
best?
that
Three
the-
Flicka movies?
These songs are not good, but I think a lot of the flow of this album makes a lot of sense if you look at the writer list. I think,
Well, go on. Tell me about
yeah.
it.
I mean, not to spoil anything, but all the songs that are grouped up at the top, looking at Wikipedia, are solely written by Cuomo. And
No
kind of the
Cuomo.
more
Wow, where have we seen this before?
and
Oh
the
my
more
gosh.
songwriters he piles onto a song,
Feels
the
like
worse it
Summer
gets.
has
Like
6 writers.
including Rivers. Happy Hour has 2 other songwriters, and you have to wonder, what were these people contributing to the process?
With one exception, there's almost a directly like inverse relationship with how many writers there are versus what we think of the song.
Yeah.
Which is just like Gratitude, where he was going 2009, 2010. We're
Gonna make a record how I felt then.
And we're going to bring on all these other people to help us bring it up to shape or whatever. And it's
It's Weezer and it's Wheezy.
But he just made two, like, almost not quite modern classics.
Yeah,
Like, two really good albums that I will enjoy for the rest of my
unmitigated
life.
great albums.
Yeah.
Like
Why would
unqualified successes.
Like, what is moving him to go, okay, now we're going to go back to doing Gratitude level pop?
I know. And like, yeah. I think I have to recant my classic Weezer opinion about having them fail interestingly versus being mediocre in a boring way, because I would much rather listen to this album than Gratitude. But neither of them are good. Or neither of them are great. Like, I'm okay with this album by and large. I think I like it more. I like it more than most people, I would say.
I definitely do too. I'm a fairly big defender of this album compared to a lot of the Weezer community.
Yeah.
You know what's weird, though, is looking at this Feels Like Summer writer list, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 writers, and half of the song is just the words "feels like summer."
Yeah, it really like oh, you brought in another writer. Like, what if we added a da 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 part? Johnny Coffer, you're a genius.
He's filling his coffers with those royalties.
Jazz.
Medieval king.
Hey, he wrote La 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 with Naughty Boy. Good song.
Oh, it's good for him.
Anyway, Happy Hour.
Yeah.
It just...
More like
The problem is we'll start talking about a song and then we just get diverted because
we gotta.
Well, there's only so much you can say about Happy Hour.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, you can't say much about it because it's all right there. It's all surface level word association. The song doesn't really go anywhere. And he needs Happy Hour. That's it.
Yeah, he likes the hour that's happy. So, we'll move on. We have one of a fan favorite feature on the podcast.
Oh.
It's a shootout. Woo! We've got a tie right down here at the bottom. Might be a little coming up if you ask me. But for now, we've got...
Chris, what's that? Are you saying there's more than one tie on this album?
There's a scientist, you see. She's got sweatpants and she's got a hair tie.
And does she use the hair tie?
It's not specified.
She just has it.
It's on her wrist. So these are two little numbers I like to call Sweet Mary and Any Friend of Diane's.
Yeah, these are two
Tough
songs.
Two big shrugs for me.
I would say shrugs. I like them both, but I didn't know where to put them on the list. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I knew to put them like somewhat lower, but I didn't know. For me, it's like, oh, which one goes top or bottom? I can't even remember which one I put on top.
Yeah, these
I might have
these
put
two
Sweet
songs
Mary.
and the next one are very middle of the album.
I will gladly
Well, they're not
sit
in the middle of the album,
and
but-
listen to them. And you know what? I will sometimes choose to go and listen to both of these songs because I'm like, hey, I feel like listening to this song. But man, I don't feel strongly about them at all.
Yeah, feels like nothing if you ask me.
Hew. Which one are we going to talk about first? Are we just going to lump them in together?
I mean, we can talk about
Yeah, we
them individually.
There
if
might
you've
be
got...
some people listening that want to hear our thoughts.
Sure.
on-
Let's talk about Sweet Mary. It's got some religious content, certainly.
Starts on the chorus. Interesting
Yeah.
choice. Not something
You know
Weezer
what?
does.
Now
very
that
often.
I'm thinking about it, this is a pretty good song.
I do like
The
this one.
chorus
Yeah,
is
no.
very similar to Weekend Woman, but hey, if you got a good thing, maybe use it twice on
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I get a lot of the same like emotions and like feelings from it. I don't think it's as catchy as Weekend Woman, the chorus, but I really like it.
No, you know what? Rivers does a great job singing this song.
Yeah.
He really hits those high notes well.
Sure.
Yeah, I do. The choruses are great. I do like how it starts on it as well. And I don't know, like I think the bridge is kind of a boring bit on it, but it feels like
Summer.
no.
I'm gonna leap over this table and
It's gonna be a
hit you.
podcast strike.
Of my fist on his face.
Two hits. Me hitting you, you hitting the ground.
No, it's 3 hits.
strikes.
Me hitting you, you hitting the ground, and the ambulance hitting 90.
Good bit.
This song really reminds me, I've talked about this on every album since Hurley, just of how crazy it is that Rivers in this new leg of his career gets so comfortable singing in this upper register of his voice. Like, he genuinely sounds like he's just a good singer on this song. Mm-hmm. And I dig that part a lot.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about this song?
Oh, are we wrapping up this song section?
Well, I truly, like...
You don't have much to say about it.
No, not really. I mean, like...
Yeah, even he admits, I'm looking at this quote on Genius, he goes, I have this weird Catholic side. And so like, what do you mean? He's like, my family's Italian. Oh, you're not Catholic at all, but you just like feel distantly like your grandpa was Catholic, so...
I feel like the Pope is in there somewhere.
I mean,
So he literally just sat down and go, I'm going to write, like you said, all these songs are very samey. So it's like, I'm going to write a Pacific Daydream song about Happy Hour. I'm going to write a Pacific Daydream song about Mother Mary.
yeah,
I do
like...
I do like how there's like a bit of subtle like religious references in a bunch of their songs. I don't know. I think it makes it interesting.
Sure. I like a good religious reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even just like the subtle stuff, like in a like Weekend Woman, like when God made her, he threw away the formula. That bit. Oh, I don't know. Like them lyrics. We'll talk about it more though. Yeah. It's Mamma Mia.
Meatball. With Bill Murray. Got another track in here.
So let's move on to another track.
Yeah. That's what I said just now.
You interrupted
Another song that starts with the chorus. Any friend of Diane's. I remember the chorus.
I do. This one's actually genuinely catchy.
Yeah, I like this one.
I like the lyrics okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Spoiler alert for the whole podcast. I mostly just read things off Genius. Mm-hmm. But this
No,
one does a good job
that.
of tying it in with other Weezer songs.
I like the little Genius.
It is, yeah, they're really good. It is similar to Michael and Carly, Suzanne and Jamie, in that it was inspired by women who were helpful in Weezer's early career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, Diane was not a real person.
Yeah.
But this is just in that genre of like, I like this genre of like women who were good friends.
Yeah. It's like, hey, here's to the women. You know?
Yeah.
It's like Welcome to Marwin, a trailer I saw in front of A Star Is Born. It's a movie where Steve Carell gets beat up at a bar and loses his memory and then invents a tiny doll city where women protect him.
All right. I don't think I'm going to see that one.
Yeah. If you think that, you should just see the trailer. It does not look compelling. It's like a Christmas, like... You always feel bad for those kind of movies that come out on Christmas because you're like, oh, Steve thought he was going to get a Best Actor nomination from this movie. It's just so sad. Like,
Do you think it in that tone of voice?
I do, honestly. I think it's really sad when... Cause
Has he gotten a Best Actor now?
He's a nom, yeah, for Foxcatcher.
He's in a bunch of dramatic roles. He's in like 3 dramatic movies
what
every
about
year, and I don't see any of them.
Bruce Almighty? Evan Almighty?
Well, Bruce Almighty, he would be supporting, obviously. And then he could get Best Actor for Evan Almighty. Hey, I would have given him a Best Supporting Actor nom in Bruce Almighty. He's good in that movie.
I've never seen that.
I never saw the first one.
Oh, come on. You saw Evan Almighty, but not Bruce?
Yeah, hey, guess
did.
what? Christian parents.
True.
I don't know why. Allowed to watch Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, Bruce Almighty, highly sacrilegious.
Was it?
Not really. Well,
I heard.
That's
That's what
I never saw it. I was just told, and they were like, "Oh, Evan Almighty, this one isn't. You can watch this one." So I did, and I remember at the time being, however old I was, like, it was not that good.
Yeah.
My parents hated me because there was one line in it where he like hits his thumb or something when he's hammering some shit onto the ark. It's like, mother, father, sister, brother. And I said that like 40 times because I was like, I don't know how.
Because this is the thing
12.
Chaz does.
Yeah.
I believe Evan Almighty came out in 2007. Let's fact check that.
Jeez, I would have been 13 then.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You were two. It is 2007.
Oh, I was a little too
That
old
movie
for
was
that.
the first time I heard the John Mayer song "Waiting on the World to Change."
Really?
Hey. That's like the 8th best song on that album. It's a good album.
You were too ready with that ranking. We need to do a John Mayer podcast.
Oh, I would.
I'd be down for
I would do an
John.
episode. I would do an episode. I would do like an In the Garage style episode on John Mayer's Continuum.
I would do it on
I love that album.
Room for Squares.
Sure, why not?
Let's do them all.
Heavier things, baby.
2019 podcast about John Mayer.
Sure.
Mark your calendar.
Watch me whip. Watch me J-May.
Evan Almighty has
Evan
the
Almighty-
exact same scene as in the Santa Claus, where Tim Allen is Santa, where they're trying to shave the beard. But the beard keeps coming back, and it's like, they're so confused, and they're doing... Tim Allen, he's obviously doing his confused voice. But, yeah, you
That was
got it.
good.
It's not hard.
Put that at the end of the episode as a bonus.
I think Tim Allen's underrated.
Early Tim Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-Home Improvement.
Selling me coke.
Yes.
Do you know about that?
I know he got busted for...
Yeah, there's
And then he
Was
got
that
out
in
of it.
Toronto? I think that
What?
was like...
Oh, I don't know where it was.
And then got out of it by ratting out all of his like other. Wait, hold on.
That's good.
That's actually classic being responsible and cooperating with the police.
He was arrested in the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport for possession of over 650 grams.
I always forget the actual
1.43
number.
pounds of cocaine.
That's so
It's
much.
a big amount of cocaine. In an
Like guilty.
airport. Who brings cocaine to an airport?
So
I guess that was
gutty.
like, what, back in the 70s, though?
Yeah.
It was 1978. He
that's
pled guilty to felony drug trafficking charges and provided the names of other dealers in exchange for a sentence of 3 to 7 years rather than a possible life imprisonment. And you know what? The world is better for it, baby.
Yeah. Like, who would have played Buzz Lightyear?
Who would have been on, what's
Home
the name?
Improvement.
Not Home Improvement, Last Man Standing.
Oh, true. That was a decent
It's
show.
more recent show.
I think it's funny that Home Improvement, that fact about it where like at one point its ratings were higher than Friends and Seinfeld.
Yeah, that show was insanely popular.
Yeah, it's a good show. Anyways,
That
any
show-
friend-
Friend of Diane's.
yeah, no more comments from you about off-topic things.
I was gonna tie it back perfectly, but
Hit
now
me,
we'll
baby.
never know.
No, hit me up. What's poppin'?
The show was one of the last hallmarks of just a very safe and stable part of, the commercially viable product side of TV. And much like... Okay, I didn't have
Oh, I see.
didn't have it.
Ah, so I was
just
right.
trying to be
simple.
They're both
again.
safe and predictable, okay? Now we're back in Pacific Daydream.
Okay.
All right, any friend of Diane? Yeah, I think it's kind of got that churchy vibe, and it keeps with some of the religious themes to it. Kind of has
Papa
like the
John's.
whole baptism idea thing in the bridge, almost towards like the idea of like baptizing you in like a new city since you're a newcomer there, I guess, which I think is neat.
I wish that bridge tied in more. I wish it tied in better with the rest of the song because
Yeah.
there's a cool idea in there
Yeah,
of like this lady being there and helping him through this transformative
yeah.
experience, but the rest of the song is kind of a blow for blow
Did you guys like?
thing about
I don't know. I like
Weezer's
the,
come
Yeah.
up.
Did
I
you
like
guys
the lyrics of this.
Yeah, did
I
you
like-
guys find though, like throughout this album, there was like almost bits of songs that you didn't even like, you never knew existed until you like really sat down and listened to them. Like that weird little guitar solo
The
after
flamenco.
after
guitar.
the bridge. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. I think it's fine.
And
Yeah,
like
I
that
know.
little guitar part
Very
in
forgettable.
between each verse
Oh,
where it goes
I like
"Down,
that."
down, down." That's a cool part.
Yeah, that's
That's
it
them
makes it
shaking
more-
it up like they
yeah.
really don't.
Shaking their little butts.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. I think this song is
Waving
good
their
in
little
an
fannies.
interesting way more than it's good in like a catchy way.
Yeah, I mean, like, just like having a song that isn't the same, that doesn't necessarily sound the exact same as everything else. Like, it does kind of remind me of like a White Album track. And I like that about it.
And I will be walking down the street and just,
Ain't a friend of Diane. Yeah, it's good.
one of my favorite lines. I'm gonna read another lyric. Start of verse 1. Working at Papa John's, I was making good bread, which made me laugh.
It's a good
Making
line.
good money
Yeah.
working at Papa John's, like $20 tip on New Year's. Rivers, like, there's so much more in the world for you.
But he's also making good bread.
And also,
the
the little genius annotation is he worked at Domino's. Why would he say? It specifically says
switches up the
Domino's,
specific.
and Domino's has the exact same number of syllables as Papa John's. He could have done it and made it accurate, but he switched over to Papa John's.
Papa John's is funnier.
Yeah. Papa John's is
Was he
more
trying
of
to be funny in this song?
I don't know. Papa John's is more of a meme pizza, I would say, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. I love that meme where he said the N-word.
Then resigned. I think my celebrity prediction for the next celebrity death was Papa John's by suicide.
I forgot about that.
Holy shit!
Message
I
in the
forgot
chat.
about that. Okay, let's sort out this little tiff we're having over these two songs. So, in classic fashion, on 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we say
I
it.
have no idea.
Wait, was that it?
No, stop.
We're not doing this bit again.
We're gonna say the name of the song that we think is superior.
Oh.
And I'll give you 7 seconds to get ready.
I don't even remember
Are you
what
counting
order I
those
put them
seconds?
with on my personal list.
Doesn't matter. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Any
Sweet
friend
Friend
of
of
Diane's.
Sorry.
Sorry, Chazzy.
Oh no, I
Our
don't.
word is law.
I literally do not care. I just went back to my phone to see which one I put higher because I didn't remember.
It just does more things. Like, this song has too much overproduction.
got some stuff going on.
Like every single
got
other
a lot
song.
of stuff
It's got
going
a
on.
lot going on. And
I
that's,
really like that guitar bit. The no.
this is a weird note to have for them, but they could have accomplished a lot more if they pulled a lot more elements back.
Yeah.
Like, even having it focus just on like having more of that flamenco guitar, but the fact that that is also coming in with these synths that are layered in reverb and delay, and the whole thing is soaked in so much reverb that it just kind of wears on you. But it's still catchy, still pleasant to my ear, and I'll still listen to it.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Let's move on.
Both good songs, I'd say though.
Yeah, they're both. Again, I'm fine with all of these songs.
Yeah, I am as well.
That's a good.
that's what you wanted of an album, right?
Fine with it.
I'm a big fan of the title. It's called La Mancha Screwjob.
Ooh, great track.
Yeah, sure. Apparently, it was originally written for "Everything Will Be Alright in the End." He basically just said like there's a bridge, and then like the only thing else that changed is the production, and it is
Overproduced.
yeah, it is similarly produced to all the other stuff, but yeah, I will say it's got a great chorus.
Yeah.
All of these lyrics, I look at it like, which song is this again? I have to like go down the list. Like, oh, okay.
I like
got
the
it.
lyrics of this one.
Yeah, this one is not as frustratingly vague and like just random imagery floating by.
Yeah, it's
as the
kind
other
of.
ones.
It starts out with those kind of like weird sounds. Like a bunch of the songs on this album like
Like
use
the pitched
weird
up
kind
vocals,
of
yeah.
sample type things, or like the dicking around in Ableton thing. But I think I like it on this song better than most of the other uses of it on this album.
That brings the flaws of the production kind of to the fore of like, the song is like genuinely just like nice and pleasant and funny, not funny, but like fun and catchy. But it's so overproduced and it becomes this like big sweet glob, like we've talked about certain Weezer songs being like candy. They go down super
like
smooth
candy.
the first time, and then like you can only eat candy so many times before your mouth hurts.
Yeah.
And
Cheek lining. I
he
mean,
wants to stop the war and be a porch bum.
yeah, I don't like the
I
use
don't
the
know
word
what's going on
porch
with
bomb.
that.
I don't dig it. This is another like I said, like this song and then the two we were just talking about are songs where like I have very little like they're just so like they're just nothing, like they're just like a vapor. Like they're like I guess like Any Friend of Diane's like kind of has that one part to latch onto, and this song kind of has the like we're gonna do like that part kind of like sticks in your craw.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just like
The only catch to it is that the melody of the chorus.
yeah, like you listen to it 10 times and that's all that really sticks to you. Whereas White is also a very
Yeah.
sound like sonically
Hook.
cohesive work, but every song is very memorable and distinct from each other.
I find this one to be fairly memorable, especially like even in
This
the
one's pretty
verses
good.
with that like kind of lead, or not so much lead guitar bit, but like the one where it's like, I'm assuming like Brian like strumming through the chords slowly and then picking back up it.
But
like
again, they're buried underneath this mountain of reverb.
I think
like
I don't know. I think
electronic
it's
drums.
pretty front and center, that part.
I want to like it, and I feel like if they just pulled back on the overproduction.
Really, I had this song in the upper half of the album, but I think it's got a great bass line. I think the instrumentation in it's all really good. The chorus, it comes in like nice and powerful. Like when it first hits, it's kind of like a break, or not like a break, but it kind of like jarring. It's
sounds
big,
good.
right?
Yeah, I think it's perfectly fine right where it's at, like right in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty middle of the album track.
Yeah.
In terms of quality, I think it's catchy. I think it's one of the more underrated tracks on the album, I would say, though, because I feel like a lot of people overlook this. I feel like this song and Get Right are kind of two songs in like the same vein. They seem very similar to me in terms of like how they were written. I think they both kind of sound like they could have been Ed Sheeran songs.
Interesting.
I kind of get that too with like Any Friend of Diane's and the other one that was tied with it,
Sweet Mary.
Sweet Mary. I feel that those two are two very similar songs, as well as like Weekend Woman and QB Blitz. I think are pretty similar too.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of a less like poppy version, I guess, of Get Right or something.
Yeah,
In some ways.
I can see that.
It's very by the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't like Green. It's basically the same song repeated X many times, and if you like that song, then
Yeah.
have at it.
I liked Green because I like that song.
Yeah. And also the title is good.
Yeah.
Screw job.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
It's I think it is an oblique wrestling reference because there's a famous wrestling incident. Have I talked about that on this podcast about the Montreal screw job?
You might have.
I might have. Anyways, there's like a famous thing that happened in wrestling where basically like one thing was supposed to happen in a match, and then Vince McMahon like screwed over this wrestler like in real life.
Oh.
Like, because he was like leaving the company, and so like they wanted to like, and he was the champion of WWF at the time, so they wanted him to lose the belt, but he was like, I don't want to do it here, I'll do it somewhere else. But they were like, I'm not taking any chances, and so they kind of like screwed him over. It's called the Montreal screw job because it happened in Montreal. So I think this is a.
But where does La Mancha come from?
I don't know. There's the Man of La Mancha, which is Don Quixote, I believe. I don't know. I don't know what La Mancha is. Let's find out. It's in Spain.
Okay.
It's
I
an-
can see that. There are a few very oblique literary references.
It's an elevated
And historical.
plateau.
Oh, I do love me some elevated plateaus.
Yes.
I was
It's
in
an
Quebec
important
City
agricultural zone.
a couple of years ago. A lot of elevated plateaus. over
Manchego
there.
cheese. The La Mancha goat. Anyways.
I can see that being a Don Quixote thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
yeah.
he mentions Dante in the one song.
And hey, if the title of the song is a Don Quixote / wrestling reference, I'm on board. But let's press on, shall we?
That's
The next song. A little too low on the list for my liking, but it is where it is.
I think I know which one it is.
It's a little number
Is it
that I quite like
country
called
and
Mexican
then,
Fender.
instruments?
The opening track to the album. I really like this song. This is
You do.
This is one of like there are probably 4 songs on this album that I will consistently come back to. Really a big 3, and this is one of them. I think it's a great opener. I love the energy. I love the riff. Like, it sounds so good. Like, I still distinctly remember the first time I heard this song was like, this is awesome. When you first hear it, you can't, like, when the riff kicks in with like no drums behind it, you can't
parse it.
tell.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't tell like where beat 1 is, and then it drops into like, oh, nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I just really like this song. I think it's like
Yeah, it's
really
a pretty
well
good
done. I think it's
song.
the best, or like a very good execution of the sound that they're going for on this album.
Sorry, did you have this as your number one song?
No.
Okay. Oh, right. I know what your number one song
It's
is.
it's in the I had it ranked number 4
Really? I thought this would be like your number like 1 or 2 song for
because
sure.
I talk about it all the time. Well, I just think it's very underrated, is why I mention it.
That's fair.
Like
Yeah, especially it being the first song on the album.
yeah, it's such a good opener. Like
It really doesn't feel like the rest of the album.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid album opener, but it definitely doesn't feel like the rest of the
It feels very White Album, and that's because they made it when they were working on the White Album. And so they said Jake Sinclair had a big hand in the layout of this song.
Okay.
But then they tabled it and then brought it back for Pacific Daydream. So the other producers got the official credit, but he said a lot of Jake Sinclair is in this song.
right.
How do you guys feel about that like main guitar riff, the one that persists through the verses and the intro and stuff?
Good.
I think it's
I'm trying to think of what other era of Weezer it reminds me of, because like there's a little bit of red in there, kind of like the big like guitar part, but there's
And it's
also
more
like
chunky than a
yeah,
red.
it's, it feels very chunky.
almost like
It's kind of like
Dope Nose. Like,
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like maladroit mixed with like a
Yeah.
little bit of like red in there maybe, or like Hurley.
Yeah, I think that part's good, but I find it kind of gets a bit stale, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the pre-chorus is really good.
Which
but it was hot.
It's hot.
oh yeah, I think the chorus is the worst part of the song.
I think the chorus is
It's got a
all right.
millennial ooey in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bridge is interesting though. It feels
Yeah.
very fresh compared to the
I
rest
like
of the
that part a
song.
lot. The part
It goes double time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it almost reminds me of like El Scorcho, like when it's like Badu 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 Badu, like Erica Badu.
Yeah, great El
No, we're not like
Scorcho
Erica Badu.
impression.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love the what?
No, I was just thinking that app where like you can do like a bunch of screens if you like sing or doing parts, like the acapella app, and that one of the kid doing Africa, and it's like do 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 to like the headphone like mic.
That's a good video. Yeah, I agree with you. I really like the bridge. Like I love like it really feels like it's like it does like it serves the function of a bridge really well. Like it really like builds up into something really cool. Yeah, I think this is a really good song.
This song is also interesting because Rivers Cuomo did all of the annotations for it on Genius.
Yeah.
And all of those annotations are just screen caps of a conversation he had with a lady, which appears to be just like this song is just what they did that day.
Yeah,
What was her name? Like
Katie Goodman is her name. She is a singer in a band.
They found he didn't reveal her identity.
Yeah.
But they found out because
He did.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
left
he
her
didn't say
fucking
but
phone
her
number.
phone number is right there.
Yeah. Oh, let me censor your name, but not
phone
your
number
phone
is this?
number. Yeah.
I did not see that.
Let's find it.
But no, I remember when this song came out, I like went and looked at it because it starts, the first annotation is a tweet that he made, and then it shows the reply.
Anyone in Santa Monica?
Yeah.
Yeah, for later that night we went to a gig and she asked for some advice. He posted a screenshot which is just her number. And then later he's sending out an email where he goes, I'll remove your name so people have to do a little detective work to figure out who you are, but I'm sure they'll figure out eventually. It's like, it's her phone number. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Good one, Rivers.
Anyway, that's kind of tangential to the song, but the song is good. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's a good song.
It's catchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah. When I listen to it, I don't skip it.
Except from her iPhone. Yeah, no, I really like the like little genius bit, like that like makes it like a little bit
Yeah, I think
a little bit.
it's
But
fun.
the thing is, like what I find kind of weird is that like there is definitely like a certain like
Romantic.
there's like a romantic implication that obviously was
yeah,
not
my
there.
summer love. Like,
The purpose
repeat
of
it.
love
Lady
is-
I met once.
implies romanticism. Yeah, like which is like I don't know. I'd feel kind of weird about that, but you know.
It feels like that's just the crutch that he returns to. Like, what is this song going to be about?
Yeah.
I'm in love with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, a song about people hanging out isn't that interesting, you know?
Yeah, no, the first time I heard him, I heard the lyrics, I almost felt like, oh, Rivers, I'm so sorry, when he says, like, her
More like
boyfriend.
Mexican friend zone. That sounds like a weird thing. I just chose the word that starts with F. But Mexican
friend zone? That's pretty good.
Sounds
good
like
bit.
a thing.
Sure. Sounds like Mexican Fender, the song by Weezer.
Oh, let's talk about that.
I would
I think
love
we're
to.
done.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Please
Let's-
stop coughing.
Please, I beg of you. Let's press on.
Please refrain from coughing on the podcast.
Good bit. Let's go into a song. This is a song that honestly I feel like it's ranked as highly as it is simply because it doesn't suffer from some of the production problems that other songs on this album do. It's a number called Get Right.
Ooh,
Oh.
like this one.
What do you? Yeah, I think you guys like this more than I do. I think it's a fine song.
I thought, like, I put this as my number 3. I thought that was going to be a huge upset, and you guys were going to be like, oh.
No, like
Guess not.
I think I would put this in the middle of the pack with the other songs that we talked about a little earlier.
I would just call it not as samey as the rest.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that that little element is what pushes it over for me. But Chaz, what do you like about this song?
Now, I think this song is, I mean, it kind of pisses me off because if Rivers really wanted Weezer to have like a bigger hit with a single, I almost feel like this would have been a better song for them, or like made a better single than either Happy Hour or Feels Like Summer. I don't know how well it would have like done with Weezer since it's a bunch of guys in their like what 40s, 50s now. But if this song was literally just by Ed Sheeran, this would have been a pretty big hit, I
Yeah.
feel like.
I don't know if I hear the Ed Sheeran in it.
Maybe it's just because he's the star slotted in right now making these very glossy pop songs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the chorus sounds very Ed Sheeran-y.
Yeah, I guess I could see
Cut
that.
the drums out a bit, and I think
Yeah.
there's a lot more Ed Sheeran in there.
Maybe like it really feels like
Yeah,
this
I
was
know what you mean, actually.
intended to be one of the more like forgettable songs on the album. But
It's not a sleeper hit. It's just
Yeah.
not in the exact same groove
It-
as
it's kind
like
of
those 4 other songs.
Here's
Yeah.
a little take for you that I just came up with. It's like most of the songs or some of the songs on the album are Weezer songs that have been turned into pop songs, whereas this sounds more like a pop song that has been turned
Yeah.
into a Weezer song.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's a good way to put it. Definitely feels like Rivers just had like the beach folder was just like completely unremarkable songs, and you just like exported them out to other genres. Like
Yeah.
the one, what's popular in 2017 right now. But yeah, I wouldn't call it a sleeper hit or anything like that. But
I think
Yeah,
it's-
I don't think I can agree with you about it being a single.
yeah. I don't think. See, I think it could be a single for a different artist. I don't think it would work necessarily well as a Weezer single. I still think they picked some awful singles though for this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's one clear single to me here, and we'll get to it.
Okay.
But let's press on. Unless, do you guys have anything more you wanted to say about?
Not
This number?
really. I mean, I kind of like this one. Also, sort of has those sampled things on it, like at the end of the
Yeah.
chorus, like the ooze, like almost. I don't know how to describe it. I wrote these thoughts last night, and I can't remember exactly how they go.
oh yeah, this one has that weird cut right after the first verse too.
Yeah.
This weird gothic like it
Yeah.
reminded me of Kate Bush.
Yeah.
And then it just jumps right back into that
I
regular song.
I
It's
don't know,
like,
I think
hey,
it's
what
cool.
was that? What was
Yeah.
going on?
I don't know. I like this song. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
like that is
Good
what there is
song.
to like about how like it goes in definitely non-obvious directions.
He says alligator shoes.
Yeah.
I have a question for the group. Crocs or Lacoste?
I think there are actual like alligator skin shoes.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking alligator shoes.
Oh, yeah. Alligator
That's
skin
what
shoes.
I was thinking.
Very
too.
glitzy. Mm-hmm. When I listen to this song, what's in the back of my mind as a fan of Weezer is just like, he's a married man. It's like, oh, I know the ones out there. It's like, okay, it's fine to say that in a song, but also, Rivers, like, we know you.
Yeah.
Can't fool us.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, do you really want to hear about a married guy's family and stuff and all his songs?
Well, we did in King of the World, and it was great.
Yeah, but you can't have a whole album about that. And that one's less obviously about his family.
Yeah, so make less obvious songs like
Yeah, that's fair. That's
make
fair.
friggin' Everything Will Be Alright. Less obvious.
That's actually Everything Will Be Alright in the End was a very good album. A lot of the songs had more deep themes to them, and I think it worked really well on that album.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a great album.
It was a good album. I really like it. One of my favorite Weezer albums.
I'd love to listen to it. Let's press on, shall we? This is a very interesting scenario we've cooked up here.
Oh, my.
Oh no.
It's a shootout.
Between
Between two songs. Eat your heart out, Zach Galifianakis.
Put it up. It's a shootout.
That's right. Because it's between two songs. One is called Beach Boys, and the other is called Weekend Woman.
No.
What?
Yeah.
Those two songs? How did this happen?
Is this for between
Who
2
could
and
have foreseen
3
this?
or between 3 and 4?
This is between 2 and 3.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's right where they belong.
What?
Like we're getting to the
Yeah.
good stuff now.
There's some juicy bits.
I think it's because Tyler, you and I both had it as our number 2 song, and we both had Weekend Woman as our number 3 song, and Chaz had Weekend Woman as his number 2 song, and Beach Boys as his number 4
I
song.
could have avoided this because I put Weekend Woman as my number 1, and then last second I figured I've been listening to I've been listening to a different song.
The process of elimination of
Yeah.
one song that's left.
Yeah, no, I've been listening to QB Blitz a lot more than Weekend Woman lately, so I'm going to put QB Blitz ahead of it for this one, even though maybe overall or like in the beginning it definitely would have been Weekend Woman. I could have avoided this.
But now we're here.
So
Chaz, why don't you give me the case for Weekend Woman?
yeah, I think just the feeling of this song alone, like this album has a lot more of a poppy vibe, and Beach Boys fits right in there. I thought Beach Boys was going to be my number 3 song on this album, but I guess last minute I've been listening to Get Right a lot more, so I had to drop Beach Boys down. But I think Beach Boys is a very solid song, and when that came out as, I think, was it the 3rd song released? Or 2nd? I can't even remember. It was one of the first 3, though, or one of the 2 or 3. And I thought it was...
Yeah, it was the 3rd.
Yeah,
Feels
it
Like
was-
Summer, Mexican Fender, Beach Boys.
This was by far my favorite of the 3, and I thought, okay, like this album might be going in a better direction. Like it's incredibly catchy. The bass line is great. Like I listened to this song so much when it first came out, and I still listen to it a decent amount now. But just like the way they go into the first chorus even in it, and then how it's like half as long. It just goes through not as long as the other one. And then it just smoothly transitions right back into the verse, like so nonchalantly, like they didn't just have this huge chorus. I think it's a very solid song, but it's like a poppy song, which this album kind of has a lot of. Whereas I find Weekend Woman to be more of a like emotional, melodic song.
Weekend
That's
Woman,
like
I don't even know what to compare it. Like it feels like, I don't know, like it's from like the 70s or like the 80s something. Like
more like a ballad, very like I don't want to say sweet, but it's kind of like
It is a sweet
melodic, like emotional, but still like very catchy. It feels like, for me at least, like something you should be listening to while walking around like some winter marketplace or something.
You're talking about Weekend Woman, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what album this song reminds me of?
What?
Make Believe.
Yeah, there's definitely some bits that
interesting.
it reminds me of. It reminds me a lot of I Don't Want to Let You Go off of Ratitude. Best song off Ratitude.
Interesting.
My favorite part about this song is definitely the shakers. That
Yeah.
are doing that.
What about the Glockenspiel?
I like it too, but
It's a, like, especially because like that's like such a thing in indie music, like in the early 2010s, that was like
Yeah.
all over indie music in the worst way.
Yeah.
But like this is a very like
it's a very sweet song.
yeah, this is a very like kind of like restrained song, like or not restrained exactly, but like it doesn't overdo it in any regard. Like this could be like a saccharine song that is like
That's a good word for the flaws of this album.
yeah, like it could be way too like they could have overdone it in a big way, but like it's just like it's very level.
It's restrained.
Yeah, it has the best verse melody of the whole album.
I would say so too. It's pretty
Again-
close with QB Blitz though. I think this song's got some really great lyrics. And even like the guitar lines that they have go throughout the song that kind of switch up a lot, especially the one that's under the line like 10 years from now, I'll remember every word. I think that's one that every time I hear I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
He does such a good job singing this song.
yeah,
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like an old like Sixpence None the Richer song too.
Yeah, there you go, like Britpop kind of.
Yeah, except for the fact that they were from Texas, which I find so weird.
Sixpence None the Richer?
I'm pretty sure they were a Christian band from Texas.
I'll look into this. Kiss Me. Great
That's
song.
a great song.
They are from Texas and they are a Christian band.
Wow.
Crazy.
It's like even if you watch the music video for that song, like for Kiss Me, though,
Yeah.
it's like these look like
It feels
the
like
most
you're in London.
British people
Yeah.
ever.
But they're Texans. Again with the chorus, I do like it, but
It is a little obvious. Like that
the
kind
amount
of.
that I like it is just like just turn down the damn reverb. Like if you just took out that extra layer of like boominess, then I feel like the song would be a lot better.
Yeah, and also like the whole idea of like the week is bad, the weekend is good has been done a trillion times in
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
And SZA just did it like the best way
Yeah.
last year.
Funk Wave remix, baby.
What?
What'd you guys think
Have you
of
heard that? Calvin Harris remix of that song?
Oh yeah, that was good.
What'd you guys think of the bridge in this one?
Pretty good. I still believe your beautiful lies. That stuff.
Another I really like I think everything all of his singing on this is really good.
I
Like
think
he is like
this
in the
is-
pocket.
Yeah,
on
this is
song.
one of my
Oh, yeah, that's a good-
favorite bridges on the album. This one's pretty close with another
like
song we're
the
about to
echoing
talk.
is really good.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
building from one chorus to the next, and I think it does that really well.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, now we're getting back.
Yeah,
to the
chorus, bridge,
yeah.
and then chorus again. Yeah, we really haven't talked very much at all.
Felt like the structure was or
Not that, also that to an extent, but we have not talked at all about the other band members and the instrumentation on songs.
Yeah,
very
I
much
mean,
at all.
I think one of the big things on this album that they've really done well is Scott's bass. I think the bass shines on just about all of these songs. It's very clear, and like they want you to hear it as like a major part of the song and not just, the bass.
yeah. But in contrast to that, I would say Pat, his drumming. He's a good drummer, and he's doing good drumming on these songs. But so many of these songs, the drum
Don't
seems to
lend
be,
themselves. Or sorry, go on.
I feel like they're almost drowning the song out. Like these very pretty songs are going, and these drums are like booming away in the background. It's like whoa, like
But that it does feel like more of a mixing problem.
yeah.
Like Pat's kind of
I have a lot of mixing grievances.
Yeah,
with this
you
album,
do.
as I
Classically.
tend to do.
But yeah, like Pat is kind of like being a Ringo at in this album. Like he's
Yeah.
just like keeping the beat. He's not doing anything too fancy. Like doesn't really stand out. Doesn't have much opportunity to.
Is there any real moment where you recognized Brian's background vocals? 'Cause
Yeah.
On this song,
Yeah.
he
There's
goes
a,
like, "Just can't seem to get back there."
Oh, sure.
there's a few parts on the album where in some of the songs you hear like some oohs or ahs in them, and it's very like in Sweet Mary, I think that there's like some backing ahs near the end or whatever that I think are Brian. I can't remember, but there's definitely some Brian backing vocals, but not nearly as much as in other albums, which is really a shame because a lot of these songs could have gone from like like at least
They
the
could have been
top
leveled up with some-
few songs we have on this album could have gone from like really good songs to just like, oh, they're Brian backing vocals good.
Yeah.
Man, like, I wasn't really playing the verses through my head all the way, and then I remembered how much Scott's bass part is like just the song.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm
I
in the
think-
groove again.
I don't know if it's Brian playing them or who's doing it, but in a lot of these songs, they've got a lot of like, just like lead guitar work sort of underneath the verses, which pretty nice. They change it up from verse and chorus, all that stuff. I feel like a lot of them are different on the second verse. And I feel like they do a lot of like switching it up, like adding new bits to later choruses. But I feel like on this album, they're not doing that as much with the choruses and more so with the verses,
Yeah.
which I'm still fond of.
I feel like White ingrained in them the lesson of like, if you make the bridge truly distinct, then the rest of the song really just benefits. Because just going into another place and having it be like a separate but still good section, and then going back to the chorus.
Yeah.
Even if the song is not that great or memorable, it still leaves you going like, oh, like
Yeah,
that.
like that's like what's so great about a lot of really great Beatles songs is that like it's like a fully fleshed out song, and then like it's like John would write a song or Paul would write a song, and then the other one would come in and just do the middle eight. Like the most obvious example I can think of is
Day of Life.
that too.
That's the most like blaring.
That too, but also We Can Work It Out. Where the middle eight is the life is very short with like the melodic and stuff. Like it's very distinct, and it's like, ooh, it's like you have a good song going, and it's like,
that
ooh,
song is so
just took it
good.
to another
I'm playing it in
direction.
my head like,
I don't hear that song enough just because it's not on any album.
We're gonna listen to that, guys. You gotta listen to Past Masters Volume 2.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's such a good
We'll listen to
one.
it afterwards.
Yeah, I gotta download like
Okay. What?
I gotta download like the Beatles like compilations of like
anthologies.
or like
Those are
the
good.
the non like album tracks,
It's
the
on
ones that were
Spotify.
just singles. Yeah, well, I don't have Spotify, so
He doesn't have Spotify.
Just really think about it.
Buys all of his CDs one by one and puts them on his computer.
I
console.
ripped forward my computer today,
That's why you got the old one with the CD drives. You could keep on buying CDs.
and it was cheaper.
Anyway.
Let's talk about Beach Boys. Another song that is anchored by some bass.
Yeah.
I really like the
Very
start of
much
the
so.
song. It like that. Oh, it's such a good intro. Like, ba-doom-ba-doom.
And before that, it's like that, like, and then before. Like,
Yeah.
Which is another weird vocal thing that I think adds to the song instead of taking it away.
This song has the most overt, like sampled vocal
Yeah.
parts. And do you guys want to hear the story of those vocal parts?
Yeah.
So
I think
they
they
aren't
already.
they aren't direct recordings, but they are like re-recorded versions of these
Yeah.
quotes that are from a Beach Boys recording session from like the Wilson brothers' dad.
Yeah.
Who was just like famously a huge asshole.
Yeah.
So he was just like shitting on their recording and like this isn't in the song, but I was reading about it, and there's one part where like he goes to like he's talking to Brian Wilson. He's like, "I'm a genius too." It's like fuck
What?
off. Talking to Brian
Wow.
Wilson about who a
Holy
genius
shit.
is. I know he just sounds like a real motherfucker, which I guess he was to make the kids.
Chris,
But yeah.
bad.
At least to
I-
make N-1 of them.
Sure.
What?
Okay. Math
I don't know
joke.
what he's talking about.
So, okay, they interpolated those.
Yeah, they basically like took those quotes, re-recorded them, and then like threw them onto.
That's
I forget
crazy.
who. I can.
I wonder, because I always hear it like, wait, whose voice is that?
I don't think it's a member of the band.
It doesn't sound like it.
Let me see. Keep talking.
This song is really good. What a weird way to say midnight.
It's just a sound alike of the guy, Murray Wilson.
Murray.
Sorry, what?
Wait, the guy who played their dad's last name was also Wilson?
No, it was just a guy who sounds like the dad. It doesn't
Named
say. It doesn't give the guy's name. It's like it was a sound alike for Murray
Just
Wilson.
some random guy.
Oh.
Why would he say midnight that way? I know it fits better in the song, but it bugs me out.
Wait, what line?
What are you talking about?
your midnight mantra.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's in there in the song.
What part is this?
It's like right near the end.
Oh.
Yeah, that bridge.
As if anyone still listens to the lyrics that late in the song.
That's the hook. They'll be there when you wake up. You're soothing.
Oh.
Midnight mantra.
I didn't even know that that's what he was saying to them.
Yeah, I didn't know either until I looked at it last night. I was like, midnight mantra.
Neat.
Yeah, this song, they
Alright.
said that they
Yeah.
intended it to sound as little as possible like the Beach Boys,
Mission accomplished.
which I like about
Yeah.
it because they have other songs on their last two albums that sound a
Sound
lot like
very
the Beach
Beach
Boys.
Yeah.
And so like this, and that's why like this stands out and is
Yeah.
good because like they're not. But ooh, the song is so good. Like
It's
this
a-
song,
Good in every way.
It's a tasty
this
tune.
and Weekend Women both like they occupy a space in the Weezer discography that not a lot of other stuff does.
That is new. He was saying in a lot of interviews when Pacific Daydream came out, he was going, "Oh, I finally broke out of like the downstroke 4 power chord way to build a song."
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, one, like, do you forget that you made everything? Because like
Yeah.
that is super different. But
He definitely-
with this song, it's like, yeah, you did it, and it's good, and it feels very Weezer like.
The beat, it's so good.
It's
Like
good
when
and
the
catchy.
when the
It's
bass
like-
comes into the intro, like you're kind of like on your toes.
I like
so good.
when how it like comes in the intro and then it's pretty much just like the bass and the vocals for a bit and then like the hand claps come in. Sounds very good. I like it when they kind of like
Arrangement.
yeah,
orchestration.
just slowly adding in parts or whatever. Works well.
And all of those parts are good.
Yeah, every part.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Good song.
With this album particularly, like the 4 songs that I have at the top of my list are like it's one of those things where it's like they're like it's basically the first half of the album is really good. And it's like just wait.
Just do it more.
Make 5 more songs that are that good and then you'd have an amazing album.
Yeah.
And it's like they must have some knowledge of this because they sequence the album in a certain way.
Yeah.
And which usually means like front loading the best tracks.
Yeah, it's weird how they put like the first like 5 songs that they released as just the first 5 songs of the album.
Song written solely by Rivers Cuomo. I think it shows. There's no other like.
Beach Boys?
It does. It wasn't written by Brian Wilson. It does. Yeah. It.
Is it written by... Does Murray Wilson have a writing credit?
He should honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a better song than Brian Wilson by Bare Naked Ladies?
Yeah.
It's a better song than Brian Eno by MGMT.
Yes.
Oh.
No.
Wow. Maybe.
Brian Wilson is a good song.
Brian Wilson
is
is a good
BNL.
song.
This is like truly tough because these are 2 great songs.
Yeah. 2 great songs.
But we have to choose.
Yeah.
So, we're going to do it again. We're going to count to 3.
Private vote?
Yeah,
And
my
a
secret
ballot?
ballot.
Okay.
Everyone close their eyes.
Okay.
And then,
We'll never know who won.
yeah, exactly. We'll just throw our hands
That's
up.
the community bit.
No. We have to
How should
choose
we
one.
do it though?
I don't know. We have one tried and true method that doesn't take too long. It takes about 3 seconds.
Well, 4
About-
seconds. Because they need a second to say it.
Yeah, but we count down slightly faster than
That's true.
1 second. 3, 2, 1.
That's true.
While we're waiting for you to start counting down.
I'm talking to someone about a Star is Born. Guys.
Thought you were Googling how to count down from 3.
Well, I count up, actually. Maybe in the past I've counted down, but
Wait,
in
now
this
I'm
episode I count up.
confused.
Fuck you. Let's do it. Okay. Ooh, I have to decide. Okay. I'm
I've
good.
already decided though.
Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Beach Boys.
Weekend Woman. Sorry, I totally forgot the name of it for a second.
Yeah, I mean, like, truly, I would be happy to sit in the middle on this. I think
Yeah.
both of these songs are really good. in
Yeah,
their
that
own
was
ways.
like me
Beach Boys-
with Any Friend of Diane's and Sweet Mary.
But to me, Beach Boys is so distinct, and
Yeah.
like you said with Chris, it's a new style, and it's
Yeah.
weird to see them try on this new style and fit so well into it.
Yeah, I think they did fit well into it. I think you're definitely right. Weekend Woman seems more of like a class, not even classic, but Weezer of maybe the last few years.
More of the same.
Yeah, not. Yeah, no,
Not
like I don't.
even.
I
It's
don't
like
think,
a different permutation of it.
Yeah, I think we got tastes of it with some of the stuff off of maybe not the White album, but off.
Yeah, some of like the more like the less heavy, like more melodic parts of White I can see.
Of what?
Of White, like
Oh, I was gonna say like there's. I think it teased this style a little bit in even like starting all the way back in Ratitude, like I said with I Don't Want to Let You Go, and then can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure I made the comparison on either Hurley or Everything Will Be Alright in the End. But I think aside of Weezer, we've kind of seen teased before, but never really. It hasn't really made it to something as big as Weekend Woman until this point. But yeah, definitely not like classic or like older Weezers and like way back, but Weezer we've seen before.
yeah,
Weezer we know and love.
both really good songs.
Great songs.
But there can only be one, and there can only be one number one, which was a unanimous selection. QB Blitz.
Wow.
I don't think people. I think this is a song. I think that all of us having it number one is fully a Chaz contribution. I wouldn't have necessarily given this song its fair shake until Chaz really came through with his love for it.
Yeah, I have a big amount of love for this song.
I don't know. This one, like Beach Boys, and almost I can't decide if it is in another like Weezer doing a new style of music. I don't know if this song stretches a new muscle better or worse than Beach Boys does, but this song is just so good.
Yeah,
For me, the first time I heard this song was right when the album came out. I went and I bought the CD and then I put it in like the car, like stereo thing on the way home, and I like looked at the track list and I saw like the first 5 tracks have already been released, right? So I just skipped all of those and went right to this one. And I was just like, holy.
Well, then how disappointed were you when you got past that and realized the back half of the album is the same?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of expecting there to be something boring. Like, I mean, Sweet Mary is a boring song, but then when it got to Get Right, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I like this. But yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about QB Blitz.
yeah. Like, yeah, this, to me, Chaz, you talk a lot about how this song and Weekend Woman are sort of a piece with each other.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Did I say it, or is it fair to say that they are like that? I genuinely
Did you
was
say
asking.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, both, I'd say.
Like, they're both kind of like light and sweet.
Yeah, but they almost seem like melancholy in a way. Mm-hmm. Very smooth is a word I want to use to describe it because it just kind of flows. It sounds nice, well-rounded. I think on top of like all of that, of it sounding like smooth and melodic and emotional and all that stuff, is one of the production like things they chose to do with this, where it kind of just starts out with that guitar riff playing, and then Rivers' vocals come in, and then the bass comes in as soon as the chorus hits, and then they like keep slowly adding stuff until it builds up, which I think really works for this song. It works in most songs Weezer does that with as well. Like Only in Dreams, Unspoken. There's probably a billion more that aren't coming to my head right now.
He credits Butch Walker with like the overall feel and flow of this song. Like, I think he says, I'd hand him a pretty typical Weezer sounding song and he would help me reimagine it. Mm-hmm. So he name drops Phil Spector and The Clash. Mm-hmm. I could see The Clash because Sandinista, a lot of weird instrumentation going on in that. A lot of very spacey intercuts.
Yeah, The Clash did some weird stuff.
Yeah, like releasing a triple LP back then?
In 1980?
Yeah, that's unheard of.
I used to be a big Clash fan, and like they truly went in just a weird direction after doing straight up punk for like
Yeah.
6 years.
It's
And then,
weird how they were
one
like
of them became like hip hop pioneer.
yeah. It's like punk in name only almost.
Classic Pino.
Pinot. Pinos.
Okay.
You knew where that was going. As soon as you start anything with peen. Wait, you start with
Pinos.
pine.
Pinos.
For this song, it's literally just that the flow of the chorus and the way he breaks up the syllables just like sinks into my stomach.
Yeah.
It's like, this intercom is broken.
And he
into pieces.
uses Xjin as an echo.
Surgeon.
And it just works.
Whoa.
Whoa. Good
He's
song.
on the
Those
ice fields of
whoa,
Hoth, which every
those
time I
yeah,
get like, oh, like it's
that's
Star
so
Wars.
cool.
Yeah.
And like that whoa bit, it's not just like in most songs that would just be some filler bullshit to like get by, but I really like the way that sounds with that guitar behind
right
it.
in the back,
Yeah, it's a good it's a song that is well structured for whoa-wows, which I think is true of a
Yeah.
lot of songs on this album.
Whenever I hear the ice fields of Hoth part, I always think of a conversation we had at one point where I was like, I'll be missing you like oxygen. I was like, but how do we know that Hoth had oxygen? And I'm like, oh wait, but they're not humans in Star Wars. They're
Yeah.
aliens who look and
Look
act a lot like humans.
Speak a language that's almost identical to English.
Well, they speak Galactic Basic.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What if they spoke the computing language basic?
Sure. That'd be good. Okay.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh boy. Okay, so do we have anything else?
Great bridge. Probably my favorite bridge.
Yeah.
Such a tiny gorgeous moment.
Yeah. This is
The tiny gorgeous moment where he sings Paper Lantern over the light. And like three
part.
different ways he sings it all converge. And like that's a harmonic bit where he's harmonizing with himself that he like never does. You barely ever hear more than one take of Rivers going at one time, and he does it here, and it works super well.
yeah. I'd
They
say,
basically flange the whole song as like the lead
Yeah.
up to the next one, which every time I hear, I'm like,
I always
nice.
think it's gonna go into a solo and then the chorus comes in. Or it's
yeah.
like,
This
the guitar does that.
yeah. This bridge is definitely like top tier off this album. This one and Weekend Woman are both like it's like those two, and then a power gap, and then whatever bridge is third. Maybe Beach Boys. Third best bridge, maybe.
isn't that just the spoken word? Not singing.
No, shit. No, that part you was talking about.
Oh, the
with
Midnight Mantra.
Yeah.
The hook, as it's sometimes known on Genius. Okay.
Whew.
Yeah.
Anything more to say about
That
this song?
kind of like
Great
the
song.
guitar solo for the outro is kind of a nice change of pace from just repeating a chorus until you're done. I like the guitar solo a lot too, with all the
So charming.
yeah.
This-
good stuff.
yeah.
The best stuff.
We started this album on the note of like, there's not much to say about Feels Like Summer except like, it really falls flat for me. And for QB Blitz, just a great song. I love it.
Yeah, no.
Nothing more to say.
Yeah, not a whole lot more to say at all.
Almost nothing, I would say.
Yeah, it's weird that we spent this little time talking about like our number one song off the album, because it's like it's really just like you just have to listen to this song
Yeah.
and love it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a lot of flack for defending this album and saying like QB Blitz was an incredible song. I was like,
Yeah, it's strange. Like, I understand why someone who really likes Weezer might not go for it necessarily. But it's just such a good song.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, our final list. At the bottom, going to the top. We have Feels Like Summer, Happy Hour, Sweet Mary, Any Friend of Diane's, La Mancha Screwjob, Mexican Fender, Get Right, Weekend Woman, Beach Boys, and QB Blitz. You know, I got more optimistic. Like, really, like when you get to like the top three songs, like
Yeah.
they're really great.
Some
And it's like
songs.
it's not as if like, oh, they had this style that didn't work, but then there are these songs that are sort of separate that do work. It's like these songs are still in the style of the album,
Yeah.
but they just work better than some other songs.
Yeah, and it does leave me optimistic about the future of Weezer. Because, like, I feel like the worst things I can say about the songs on the bottom of my list are just that they didn't come together the way the other songs did.
Mm-hmm.
And if their next album is as good as the best songs on Pacific Daydream, I will be very happy.
Oh, that'd be a very good album.
Yeah.
Even if they released another album that was as good as Pacific Daydream, but in a different style, I'd be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down for new Weezer stuff as long as it's like...
Not California Snow.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
Well, let's talk about this album came out. It was
This is very recent.
Yeah, this album came out. Less than a year ago. People mainly said like it's okay. It's not as. It's basically a worse White Album is the way a lot of people look at it.
Yeah.
It didn't sell very well.
I saw there's something on Wikipedia where it says it's more Train than Ozma. It's just a great roast.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good.
It is sort of like them going a little soft rock, but when it works, I really like what they do with it.
And especially the whole premise of this album is I had this other folder as I was working on something else and I made this album while I was procrastinating.
Yeah.
Now, let's are we going to talk about California Snow or are we going to talk about the whole Toto thing that's going on?
I think that drops us into the whole Africa thing.
Yeah. So so that brings us to again less than a year ago. So since then, what do we got? Chazzy, why don't you
Yeah, well, since the album's come out, we've gotten... I mean, they kind of did a half-assed Japanese, like, bonus track, whereas, with the White Album, we got Prom Night, which was not a crazy good song, but much better than It Feels Like Summer acoustic. And they gave us a bunch of shitty... I'm assuming shitty. I didn't take the time to listen to them. Like I'm not going to sit there listening to five remixes of a song I don't even like that much.
Yeah.
I listened to, I think, 2, and they were not good.
I think I might have listened to like the first 1 or 2 that came out, and I was like, okay, it's just a different way of doing a song that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they gave us that, which was...
Stop checking your email.
Yeah, something from the school about not paying my tuition yet. Yeah, they gave us that, and then, there's that whole thing about that girl who's, like, pretty young, who made a Twitter account just to try and get Weezer to cover...
Yeah, she did a meme.
Yeah, a meme, which I was, like, fully on board with that first. When Rosanna came out, I was like, I don't really care about this song, but if it's just something they're doing on the side, and it's not getting in the way of their actual Weezer.
Mm-hmm. Of their wheezing.
Yeah, of their wheezing, then I am fine with it. I think it's funny, it's interesting. And then they drop Africa. I'm like, okay, interesting. And then it started like picking up speed. I started hearing it on the radio and stuff. I'm like, wow.
It's definitely something that was better when like the first second that you found out that they released a cover of Africa is the peak of your enjoyment of the fact that they released
relationship with that song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When it's like, oh, that's so funny. And then it's like...
Yeah, now like what? There's like Africa like remixes of it.
There's a music video.
Yeah, I heard they took that down.
Really?
What?
I don't know. I read that somewhere like a couple hours ago. I could be wrong though. I did no research into it whatsoever.
Starring
it was
Weird Al.
It's like a parody of the Sweater Song video.
Yeah, but he's like Rivers.
No, it's right here.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, maybe they pulled something else.
It has just under 3 million views in a week.
Wow.
Oh.
So, like, this song is so, like, that's the main thing.
What are the likes and dislikes on that? I'm just curious.
All the comments are like, yeah, way to go, Weezer, and stuff. It's like, don't egg them on.
89,000 thumbs up. 3.3 thousand thumbs down.
Very low.
That's
a fantastic ratio.
Universally adored.
Yeah.
And all of the comments are like thumbs up if you like Weird Al, which is like, okay, whatever.
It's like, they pull out all the nostalgia for the music video. They bring out Weird Al and they like cover a meme song. Like, what? Like,
it's all meme bullshit.
Yeah.
Here's that, like, the cover is a meme. The original was not a meme. This is a non-serious cover of a song that when it came out was not super dramatic, but was like meant seriously.
Yeah. It's a good song. Like, again, like, it has become really memey. But I think it's a pretty good song.
Yeah. And like you said, Chaz,
I like the harmonies a lot.
The frustrating thing is that it seems to have completely taken over the whole Weezer experience right now.
See, that's the frustrating thing. I wouldn't be upset if they did this. Okay, haha, that's funny. It's interesting. I'm glad Weezer's getting some more recognition. That's always a good thing. But no, it feels like they're putting on their career. Are we waiting for this shit to pass?
It's a pretty nice night out. I don't know if it's gonna die down.
Yeah, but it really feels like they're putting their career as like Weezer as songwriters on hold to pursue this like
they're fucking on Jimmy Kimmel and shit.
Yeah, man, it's
just to perform a song that has already been around for.
Then what do? They
years?
yell out, "Oh, this guy from Toto," and some guy that no one's ever heard of.
Who gives a shit about? Isn't the whole point of Toto that it's all like session musicians?
I have no idea. I thought that was Steely Dan, but
that's also Steely Dan. I think it's
the
both.
Rentals.
Or is it Asia? That's studio musicians.
Might be Asia. I don't know.
Formation.
I don't know, but then like some old guy. What?
The members of Toto were regulars on albums by Steely Dan.
Oh, just kill me.
It's like the session musicians for Steely Dan albums.
But no, like the guy runs out on stage and like people are cheering. It's just like, none of you people had heard of this guy 5 seconds ago.
Of course not.
And like, what does he do? He plays like a 10-second keyboard bit. Like,
yeah.
Oh my goodness! And then Toto releasing a cover of Hash Pipe.
Hash Pipe.
Yeah, that was.
I like that. I thought their cover of Hash Pipe is better than Hash Pipe.
It's like I don't know.
I forgot what that sounded like.
I
thought it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing about Africa, the worst part, in my opinion, is that the whole point of that song, the good part of that song, is the chorus has triple harmonies.
Yeah,
and he doesn't do it.
And they have great harmony singers, and then they don't put harmonies on the song.
Yeah, just put some more Brian on there.
It was a perfectly conventional cover.
You know what they probably tried to do? They probably didn't foresee like it blowing up the way it did.
Not to the degree, no, definitely not.
So they probably just did a half-assed cover and threw it out there.
Yeah.
For one 16-year-old girl.
And or just like, to do it for a bit.
And now we're all catapulted in this new
timeline is the worst timeline.
Ugh.
Yeah. So the Black Album's probably has definitely been pushed back because of that. So let's talk California Snow. Listened to it once, didn't like it. Thought about listening to it again, and I didn't.
It's been a review of California Snow.
Yeah, it's like a slightly worse Feels Like Summer. Like people find it like again, the same as Feels Like Summer. People find it actively offensive, which I don't really. It's not a very good song. And I guess I feel like I don't begrudge Rivers for doing like full poppy shit like this. And like a lot of people have said it sounds like a Rivers song versus a Weezer song, which is very fair. But yeah, I mean like he does he was on that like RAC album, and I think that's a pretty good song. Like I don't mind when it's just him singing on like a fully pop song, which is basically what that is. But yeah, it's not a very good song or interesting song. So
again, it's the overall context of like it's fine for bands to do these random things, but we've just spent all this time talking about this amazing out of nowhere trajectory that Weezer has established. Yeah. Of like, oh my goodness, Hurley was pretty good. Oh my goodness, everything was amazing. Oh my goodness, White was amazing too. Even maybe even more amazing. Mm-hmm. And now we've got Pacific, and now we've got this Black Album on the way, and it's like, oh no, we're just gonna be this band that does a bunch of other random bullshit right now.
Yeah, it's them. They're back at it again with the meme bullshit.
Yep.
Oh,
it's also tiresome.
But again, like, hopefully, like a year from now.
Yeah, if the Black Album comes out and it's good.
Exactly. We'll just forget about like this little like that. Like it's not even an album's worth of a because like it's not like they put out a bad album. It's like they put out some songs that aren't even like terrible. They're just dumb. Mm-hmm. And so like it all told it's a blip. I think it's just magnified because we're kind of in it right now.
Yeah.
But say the Black Album comes out and it's not good at all, then
this
album becomes like if
friggin-
only we'd seen what was coming.
Yeah, this is kind of the Red Album of it all.
I mean, like, I really hope they don't not even just push it back, but almost take like directional cues from their Africa cover and think the success from that. I really hope they don't think the success from that is anything more than just as a meme.
Anything to do with how they made the song,
Yeah, I hope they've learned their lesson about like Rivers, listen to Back to the Shack.
Well, that's the thing, because I feel like Rivers is a huge traitor to his fan base and will always take huge like popular success for like the wrong reasons
at commercial success when he can.
Yeah, and then when his fans abandoned him and he realized, the mainstream hates me and my fans hate me. Okay, let's put out a song like Back to the Shack.
Yeah.
Just like
I read this off of, I think when we were reviewing...
Why don't we just expedite the process and just say, I'm never buying another Weezer album again.
Well, coming from Chaz, that's a big deal.
No, obviously that's bullshit, but...
Okay. What was I saying? In a review of either Red or Ratitude, when we were talking about that, there's one reviewer had this take on Rivers and the Weezer experience at that point, where he said, everyone keeps referring to Pinkerton as the point where this band cut themselves off from their fan base, and it's been a strained relationship ever since. He's saying Rivers was never unhappy about the way Pinkerton was received by fans and critics. He was disappointed in how much it didn't sell. Which...
I don't know about that. Go on.
I just realized I was nodding towards that and no one listening can see me nod.
Go on. Where's that going?
It's just that in Rivers' head, how well the music sells is number one, and how good the music is number two.
I don't know if I buy that necessarily.
See,
I think it was the critical reception. Like, I think.
It's like.
I mean, obviously you want to sell well. Like, it's your job to be a musician.
Yeah.
That's how you make your money. So, like, fully, like, I understand wanting to be commercially successful, but I do think that the Pinkerton thing was more that, like, it is like he went up on stage and like did his thing and then like got caught with his pants down, kind of like to be so vulnerable and like because I don't think that Pinkerton was ever about trying to be commercial. Like, that makes no sense, because if they had wanted a commercially successful album, they would have made Blue Album 2.
Yeah.
And so I think it is more about the fact that it was a big stab and was emotionally vulnerable, and then that like people were not okay with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree so much with that for Pinkerton. I think that I agree more with Chris on that, but for other stuff, I think he
does absolutely care about it.
Yeah, I think it's really like actions speak louder than words, because it really sounds like he wants to be like, I want to please the fans and all that stuff. But any chance he gets, he like puts out something like Africa and lets it like just the band ride off it, which I guess is probably realistically, like, as a band, your best bet. Like, I understand why he did it, but I just like, for my own interest or the interest of hardcore Weezer fans, like, it's definitely not in our best interest. Yeah,
and like, if the way I think of it, like, to what you said, Tyler, is like, if Ratitude had been a hit, then they never would have made, like, it's not like he would have come to this like Back to the Shack realization about like the nature of the band, like their artistic direction, if they hadn't flopped. I mean, like, right in Back to the Shack, he says, like, I thought I'd get a new audience. So, like he's sad about not getting a new audience. Like, he's sad about a lack of...
Yeah, almost that... What an insincere line. That's, like, the apology, like, I'm sorry you found out that I did this, or something like that. Whereas he's like, I thought I'd get a new audience. And, like, the reason why he's sorry isn't for betraying us, but because... he didn't get the audience.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's like, you're not sorry. You're sorry that it didn't
work out for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, again, it's so weird that they did this long, hard look in the mirror for everything. And it kind of feels like we're slipping back into this Ratatouille era of them chasing hype and just whatever will get their name, out in the press.
And I feel so bad saying it, but it's like, how much like mainstream success can you get when you're a band?
When you're a rock band.
Yeah, when you're a rock band or when you're a band as old as Weezer. Now you see the thing about the rock band is they can abandon that. They've shown that they can abandon that. And it's worked well in some like instances and not so well in other instances. But like I just feel like with a band that has like baggage, maybe not even like negative like stuff with it,
this band has a lot of baggage.
Like people have an idea of Weezer in their head, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they'd almost have more chance of making it big if they released a song that actually had huge chart topping potential. I think they'd have almost a better chance of releasing it as like not Weezer and something that doesn't have any baggage attached to it than they would as Weezer. Yeah. Depending on the genre, of course.
The Weezer fan base being what it is, that's the problem with Weezer is that it's hard. They have a difficult time reconciling the core fan base. Like, I know I use a lot of wrestling analogies on this podcast, but to use a wrestling analogy, like the thing about WWE in particular right now is they don't play to like internet fans or like people, like people who are like hardcore into it, like follow everything, like talk about like the storylines and stuff and like how like different wrestlers are being used and like who's getting pushed and who's not. They don't play to those people because who often have like a diametrically opposite view to a casual fan because those people are already watching.
Yeah.
So they don't need they know that they already have you every week. So they don't need so they can play to a casual audience and they know they still have you in the pocket. And so I think that that's the same thing with Weezer is that like they know they have these fans and so they can do weird stuff and try and get popular and like play to the mainstream and they know that they have this fan base already and then like they know that as soon if they went back and made it everything will be all right, that everything would be all right.
I mean, just like Star Wars has been doing that exact same thing and I think people are finally, like the diehard fans that'll go see every Star Wars, it seems like...
I don't want to talk about Last Jedi right now.
No, right. No, but...
we like, not that long ago, the three of us on Facebook had like an hour-long conversation about Last Jedi. But I don't agree with that take, but I know what you mean.
Okay, but here's another thing, is that, let's say there are new Weezer fans every year.
Sure.
Let's just say that.
Let's pray that that's the case.
Almost all of them, like the core consensus among old and new fans is that their two albums are still their best. And it's like,
First
they've
two
got
albums.
some...
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, the first two.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of like more casual Weezer fans that like know a bunch of their songs that have just been like somewhat radio hits, like say Pork and Beans or If You're Wondering If I Want You To. And they like love those songs and they've never really gone back and listened to earlier Weezer stuff.
So I guess it is
like
the same
religiously.
Thing of, like, no matter who's new or not, it's who's like a hardcore fan and who's a casual.
Yeah, and like there's always going to be people that are like fans of a few of their songs or like say claim to be Weezer fans, but like they'll never go and listen to a full album. Like there's like people that not just for Weezer but for like music in general, like they don't listen to full albums, which is kind of a bummer because
albums are really good.
Yeah,
sure.
When I was younger, I thought like, oh. Yeah, like this song, I like this song, but it wasn't like a single or like a greatest hit or something. So is it like really that good? And I'd really let that skew my view of stuff. But then, thank the Lord, I grew. I said thank the Lord for a reason.
Feels
not
like summer.
Step into your bear trap.
Or boar trap.
Here we are.
Yeah. So.
It's a weird time to be a Weezer fan.
It is a weird, like even like when we started this podcast, like it was a very different space that we were in compared to where we are now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've wrapped up the studio albums. We've made it to the present, but we're not finished with Weezer just yet. We don't really have any firm plans for where this is going, but I think at the very least we will do an episode about B-sides
Yeah.
and bonus tracks and stuff.
That-
Lucy's.
Yeah, we'll see how many episodes that'll take.
We might have, and these could or should be shorter than our full album episodes.
Yeah.
Lord willing. We'll probably do a Death to False Metal
Yeah.
episode.
I think that's a given.
We might do the Alone stuff, maybe, or maybe we'll throw that in with the bonus tracks.
Yeah,
That's a
I think.
difficult
What
one.
if we? I don't know.
But this
maybe-
is all material in one way or another. This is material that we're probably planning to cover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we
And we're
thinking about doing side projects.
possibly, yeah. We can probably lump those together,
Yeah. Talk about the rentals or
and then
Brian Bell's stuff.
and
Underrated.
okay, and then we'll have a wrap up kind of episode where we'll rank we'll rank all the albums, and probably do top 10 or maybe more.
Yeah.
Top 10 favorite songs across all the albums.
Yeah, what if we did an episode of just kind of weird questions about
Yes,
weird songs?
we
Like
talked about this.
what's like the best or what's the worst best song? Like if you look at the songs we had ranked as number one on any of our albums,
Yeah.
which one of those is the worst?
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
We'll do fun stuff.
If we had enough, this is calling out to the people that listen, but if we had enough cues to do a Q&A
Oh,
of
yeah.
like genuine deep cut Weezer questions,
Yeah.
then something that couldn't just be found out with a cursory Google search, like
Sure.
something that we would have to like that either turn to Chaz for or like
Make up some theories about.
Yeah, some Weezer
I'm
theories.
saying I would love to do a
Conspiracy
Q&A.
theories.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Are
to
you
do
talking
the,
about a Q&A about Weezer or about ourselves or whatever
Weezer.
people want to
We don't have
ask?
to
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah, I was going to
ourselves.
say, like, who cares
Talk
about
about
that?
ourselves with plenty.
Yeah.
we talk about ourselves a lot. I want to say I'm excited to talk about the deluxe edition songs because
Yes.
even the worst albums have very interesting deluxe
Yeah.
album
Ooh, the
songs.
red-
Oh,
deluxe
yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
I would kill for some more deluxe editions, like the treatment that Blue and Pinkerton got if they
Yeah.
did that for like Green Album or really like all of their albums.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, Black Album might come out, and if
That's
so, we will obviously sit down and
Weezer
talk
will
about
probably put out more albums at some point.
Hopefully. And we'll no matter what, we'll always come back to do a new Weezer album until we die. No
It's
matter
more likely
what.
that until Weezer
Yeah, we'll probably.
dies.
No, I thought you were gonna say that like we'll die before they release another album.
Oh.
But yeah, do we have anything else to add before we wrap this little ep up?
I never thought we'd make it this far.
Yeah.
Especially within the gap of 1 year. Like
Yeah.
in 10 months, we covered 11 albums in way more detail than most of them deserve. But
Or anyone wanted?
people,
Well,
people seem
no,
to
I
like
want
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted this.
And we say it all the time, but truly, if anyone who listens to these, we genuinely appreciate
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Like the amount of views we get on these videos, it's like when I see like 20 views, part of me is like, oh, that doesn't sound like a lot for like a YouTube
And you think
video.
of 20
And I'm just
people.
like, 20 people listen to this shit. Like,
No, as someone who listens to a lot of podcasts, and
Yeah.
podcasts mean a lot to me.
yeah, I don't
idea
really
that
care
together
about
we,
podcasts, so but,
But okay,
We
yeah,
care.
for me,
Yeah.
Chris,
Tyler and I care.
yeah.
it has been incredibly fulfilling to like put out a podcast and even have the tiniest blip of people being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yo, good app." Like, I
No,
like
that
this.
seems insane to me too. Like when we put out our first one and people are like, wow, that's like good. I just listened to the whole thing. Or like
Wait,
the
what?
next one, people are like, yeah, like I was waiting for this. I'm like, holy, like even one person doing that is like,
Truly.
yeah, it's humbling.
Podcasts mean a lot to me, and it's been great to
Yeah.
get this one going.
And we're not done. We got a ways to go.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
right
no,
now,
yeah.
I just stop here. It's like,
Yeah,
Crazy
it
milestone.
really feels like we've accomplished something. Like we've caught up with Weezer.
Yeah, we beat Weezer at their own game.
Oh, we beat Weezer.
What does that mean?
guys
Jazz is
can't see,
miming
but I was
jerking off a dick.
miming jerking off a dick.
Okay, let's get to our recommendations for
Oh.
non-Weezer albums.
Yes.
Chazzy, you sound excited. I'll throw it right to you.
Recently, part of Wu-Tang Clan's new album has leaked. And I've been listening to it on repeat. If you search...
Just Google Griffin McElroy Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, you'll see a video. There's some good stuff
Very
in there.
unreleased
But
content.
that's not an album because...
Per se.
Yeah.
It's more of a snippet.
It's just a snippet. So one I would go with is actually an EP. It just came out recently. It's called EP 2 or 02 by Plums. They're a group from I want to say somewhere around like Minnesota because that's where the label is from. But relatively small label. Their first EP had some great songs on it, especially the song Parking Lots. But this EP has came through with 4 songs, very interesting stuff. Lots of great instrumentation, some great vocals on them. More interesting stuff, almost reminiscent of, say, something off like MGMT's new album to some extent.
Great album.
Really enjoy it. Got to listen to it more. It's fairly new. Just got the tape in the mail. So
What is it called? Have you said the name?
EP2,
Oh, right.
like as in their second EP.
Or 02. My guess sucks because neither of them quite work because one of them is an album I've already recommended. And one of them is a movie.
The Casey Musgraves one?
It is the Casey Musgraves one. Golden Hour. I've been listening to it. Like I went back to it like a few weeks ago, and ever since I've just been addicted to it. It's so good. Like it just makes you happy. Great steel guitar work. Great male-female harmonies. A highly underutilized thing outside of country music.
Or The Rentals.
Sure. Some great they just really cool stuff. Like they throw in keyboards. Like there's a song that has like a vocoder part. Ooh. There's this like a sort of like disco-y song. Like lots of cool flourishes. It's probably my favorite album of this year. Really loving it. Alternatively, go see Star is Born. Great movie. Really good music. Really, really good music.
Cool. My album, bear with me for the title. It's called Budding Ornithologists Are Weary of Tired Analogies by Milo. And
Milo Yiannopoulos?
yes. How'd you know?
I want to see what he says about it on Twitter.
Jeez, no, it's so... his name is Milo. It's not Milo Yiannopoulos. This rapper, I've been following him for a while, since like 2014. He's very much like, I'm the smartest guy in the room, as you can tell from an album title like Budding Ornithologists Are Weary of Tired
That
Analogies.
sounds like some shit Sufjan Stevens would do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't
But... that offended Chris.
besmirch Sufjan Stevens'
Got
kid
nothing
name.
against him, but that's something he does.
Anyway.
Pretentious song titles and album titles.
Yeah.
But he's very wordy and cerebral and thoughtful in a way that so few rappers are. Very literary, lots of references.
Is he white? Is he white?
No.
Okay.
No, he's
So
black.
few rappers today are
He's
really
black,
literary.
But he reads books.
and think about things like Aesop Rock. I find to be very, very thoughtful. Like usually, I would say put a C in front of rap, and you have my opinion of it. But he's actually like thinking.
Like the Atlantic or Pacific?
Huh? Oh,
What?
those are oceans
Not rappers.
or seas, which is what he meant. Mediterranean. Anyways,
Anyway, okay. His 2015 album, So the Flies Don't Come, is just one of my favorite. It's like a solid 10 for me.
okay.
So this album comes up, and it is just like a great sequel. I'm listening to it every single day. It's very soft, jazzy, and he's doing a lot. He's rapping very casually and conversationally, and it's just very thoughtful. It's thinking man's music.
Sure,
You
like
know.
you.
You just get the feeling of being like in a library, and he's just like in a corner, like tapping his fingers against his chin and looking off into the distance. But it's very catchy and very pretty and sweet and full of emotion, and I quite like it a lot.
Cool.
Just a quick correction. I said their first EP was, like the Plums one was just called EP or whatever. But then I remembered it was actually called Jen. I just thought it was EP because the second one is EP too.
All right.
Sequel to something that doesn't exist.
Wow. I plagiarized that one song for the one.
Oh, exciting.
Good stuff.
I used the one vocal melody for the one chorus of mine.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I think that is going to do it
Concludes our wild journey through Weezer's studio albums.
for now. That's going to do it for this episode of In the Garage. For Tyler and Chaz, thank you again, and we'll see you soon. I hope that's recorded, that it caught that.
Fuck, man, that's good.
Some fucking girl today. She comes into class late, sits in the front of the class, opens her laptop up, and it's so loud, like something already on there. It's like shit, and she closes it, and it's still going, and she has to like reopen it and like go to get up. And there was some guy who looked pretty high, and like it was like 5 seconds into it, he just stood up. He was like, "Guys, her laptop's making noise."
So sweet, Mary.
Yeah, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
All right, go ahead.
Hee hee hee.
Yeah.
Yep.